goodbye for now. Yes, I think so. Matilda and Killalot. Oh, listen to the circular saw. That is just like going to the dentist and having the old drill in your mouth. Oh, that sent shivers down my spine.
Judge Shred proving that it's impossible to crawl your way out of the pit of oblivion. Exterminator goes through to the next round. Let's hear it for Exterminator!
Oh, it was a valiant struggle till the end, wasn't it?
We tried, but we didn't realise how quick their robot was.
We hadn't seen them go before. We didn't realise they were that quick, basically straight across the arena.
They did. They were quite powerful as well, weren't they?
Toe cutter with that blade against the champions. Panic attack of the last wards.
Just before you go in, how do you feel?
Toe cutter, Sherry Picker and Kim and Michael Davis. Michael, his heroes, Michael Schumacher from Formula One. The speed of the toe cutter blade is fearsome. Will their control be adept? And Panic Attack with the blinking light, hoping to turn the lights out on Toe Cutter. For a place in the heat final. Immediately, Toe Cutter turning side on so that the blade can have full whip against Panic Attack. Panic Attack's main weaponry here. Those front prongs to get in underneath Toe Cutter immediately and therefore immobilising the blade. That is a very, very good technique from Kim Davis. Good control, good style. Brains behind there, Brawn. Digging in on the arena floor, Panic Attack. Once again, to get the prongs in underneath Toe Cutter. Oh, did you just see that blade flick out like a viper's tongue on Toe Cutter? It does move so quickly. Hardly the speed of sound, which the Toe Cutter boys would have you believe, probably. As quick as Space Rocket, as quick as Concorde, as quick as the quickest thing. Panic Attack now, in underneath Toe Cutter, and there goes the old flashing, blinking light of Panic Attack on the arena floor, but almost doing its job and turning Toe Cutter up and over. Tremendous heat semi-final this. The reigning champions. Difficult work against Toe Cutter. But I think the more aggressive of the two robots so far. What do you think? Certainly the Toe Cutter blade is formidable, it's fearsome. One of the deadliest weapons we've ever seen in Robot Wars. But for me, Panic Attack is the more mobile bot here. And again on the attack, pushing Toe Cutter up on its side. And up and over! Panic Attack! They think they're through, and Toe Cutter immobilised. The flashing blade cuts no more, and Panic Attack cutting and etching another name emblazoned in the Robot Wars honours list, I'm sure. Look at the damage now to Toe Cutter from Dead Metal's horrible circular saw, and Panic Attack promised to take on the house robots, and they've done just that again. This time Sergeant Bash. So, you take on my buddy Bash and I'll come in, says Dead Metal. Killalot having some fun as well. In the distance on Toe Cutter, this is Bash on Panic Attack. Look at Killalot there on the left as well. Toe Cutter's dead and buried. Finished. And Panic Attack is leaving a legacy here with the house robots. They will not forget. Onto the arena spikes. Toe Cutter's blade, once a viper's tongue, is now lolling hopelessly out of its groove, and Panic Attack dancing with Sergeant Bash as Killalot tries to rip Toe Cutter to shreds. What went wrong with Toe Cutter? Panic Attack, brilliant steering right from the start of the heat. There's the lance and drill of Killalot. There's Bash coming and trying to nip the blade off. Ooh, is it strong enough? No, the blade, the tongue, if you like, is bent and buckled like the hopes of Toe Cutter.
And the winner is obviously Panic Attack. Panic Attack, come and join me, lads.
Well,
You're our Robot Wars champions. You've won this round, but you wouldn't let it lie.
No.
You'd obviously won the fight, and then you go and take on the house robots.
Well, we've won it once, and this year we're here to entertain and really have a go at the house robots.
Do you not think you've got a chance this year?
Possibly not. Same as last year. If we get through, then, you know, we'd be happy, but...
It's Panic Attack!
Now, this is
Through to meet Panic Attack in the Heat K final.
All the destruction, all the devastation has led to this. Two teams about to slug it out for a place in our series semi-finals.
First, though, let's see how they got this far in this heat. Well, first for Exterminator was Hefty with the flower power. The flowers wilted. Exterminator with the spike. Hefty with the roll. And they were finished. Then it was Judge Shred with the front pincers. They nipped that in the bud too. Exterminator through to join Panic Attack. It was farewell to Axios, axed from the first battle, and then showing great control and steering, magnificent manoeuvrability. The dangerous toe cutter was foiled, flipped, and beaten.
Roboteers, stand by.
To take on the reigning champions, Exterminator. There are the controls, Marlon Pritchard and Paul Lewis. And there are the kings, Panic Attack, Kim Davis at the controls, and young Michael.
Activate.
Kim loves his photography. Well, he wants a snap of himself on the victor's rostrum again, but it's Exterminator with the pickaxe. Spike coming down on the attack of Panic Attack early on. Spinning Kim Davis. Just to baffle. Exterminator, prepare to be terminated, says the slogan on the back. Tall. Exterminator, 94.5 centimetres in height. Panic Attack, certainly more manoeuvrable, but by far actually the slower of the two robots in a race, and now being pushed across the arena floor by Exterminator. Slightly the lighter of the two, Exterminator, about a kilo lighter, no more than that. But the stronger it would seem, slamming Panic Attack on the arena wall. And it's Exterminator's spike, which has been a key feature of this heat, right from the very start in the first battle against Hefty. And what can Panic Attack do here now? Needs to catch Exterminator out, attack side on, but lost an opportunity there. Exterminator again, crashes the spike down, bashes Panic Attack against the arena wall and towards Sergeant Bash, and the champions are in trouble here now. Sergeant Bash has them gripped, Panic Attack turning away. Exterminator comes in and slams Bash. That's a risky manoeuvre. And all this time, Panic Attack can't get those front spikes into action. There we can see the front camera again on shunt. That's a better move by Panic Attack. Now can they turn Exterminator up and over? This could be crucial. A crucial moment. Exterminator rolling. Goodness me, very, very lucky. Went piggyback up and over and came down right side up. Now it's Panic Attack on the aggressive. In comes Killalot. What a heat final this is. Panic. You might be in a couple of moments, champs, because Killalot has you gripped. But meanwhile, Exterminator is up on his side. Have they been immobilised here? Kim Davis looks grim. But I think Exterminator has been immobilised. Well, you can still see the tracks are spinning underneath, but they are very worried. The lights are on, but there's no one at home, boys. In comes Panic Attack again, Exterminator. They're trying to get righted once again. Well, Panic Attack, there's a performance of champions. Exterminator now being pursued, harangued and harassed by the horrible house robots. Off goes the chain, and that is the end now for Exterminator. Started so strongly in this heat final. Oh dear, they know it. They know they've done magnificently to get this far, but it's all over for them. Chained to the threatens, Killalot pulls, taunts, teases, torments, tortures. Terminated, yes, you have been. And Panic Attack,
Cease.
I thought had been beaten, but it's Panic Attack who go through to the series semi-finals. What went wrong with Exterminator? Well, that's key. Look at the CO2 gas escaping. And that was the end of their their self-running mechanism. And that's why Panic Attack have won it. Exterminator, when flicked up and over on its side, without the Shremek powered by the CO2 canister, which must have been punctured, they lacked the ability to right themselves. And that's when the house robots killed off their dreams. Exterminated.
Well, Exterminator has been terminated. Panic Attack go through to the series semi-finals. You were confident. You thought you were going to rumble them. What happened?
Oh, didn't work out that way.
Your pickaxe didn't seem to have the power to get right deep inside his works.
We lost the air altogether, and that's why we couldn't self-right either. So we lost it all.
Never mind, will you come back next year?
Definitely, we'll be back.
You'll be back with a stronger, bigger, badder robot, I hope.
That's right.
Bigger spike.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Exterminator! Well. You're through to the series semi-finals, guys.
Yeah, we're through again.
Everyone seems to underestimate you.
Yeah, I suppose they do. It's incredible that we're still through again.
Mike, what role do you play in this team?
I'm the tactics.
You tactics. So you're whispering in your dad's ear all the time what to do.
We're yelling in it.
You're yelling in it. Well, the tactics seem to be working well at the moment, don't they?
They did this time. I actually listened to him. He said, keep away from the house robots. So.
Do you think you can go all the way again? You're doing really well. A lot of the favourites have gone out, but Panic Attack is still there, as always.
Yeah, we've suffered some damage. We'll have a look. I really don't know.
It's Panic Attack! You can smell the cowpats in the great outdoors. It's like the smell of fear on Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
Willie.
Only took a month to build based on car, fan and starter motors with an aluminium body shell and a large pickaxe with power behind it. At the limit of its weight class, Willie's a whale.
I'm Paul, this is Ryan, this is Mark. We're all responsible for building the Wild Willie here. And Mark's responsible for most of the paintwork, and Ryan's helped me with the design, and I've done most of the building of it. And this is the weapon pick, which is powered by a 12-volt car starter motor. And it's powered by 4 12-volt motors. So hopefully we should do some fair amount of damage to another robot that gets in the way.
Robot ears, stand by.
Flip Flop Fly looks like a turbine engine. Paul Snook in the middle there wants to build a UFO big enough to carry people. And Wild Willie, Paul Wilcox, the captain, wants to become a professional rally driver.
Activate.
So speed is of the essence, and Wild Willie can get up to 15 miles an hour and immediately on the attack with the slamming pickaxe. They're the weapon of Flip Flop Fly, of course, the rolling axe. And meanwhile, Wild Willie decides to take on Bash, which is ill-advised, but fun and devilish too. I wonder if Paul Wilcox and Wild Willie just regretting that now. Turning on the attack on Flip Flop Fly. It's a strange-looking beast, isn't it? The Fly. There's Paul Snook, youngsters, Conrad, and Luke Angel, who wants to walk on the moon one day. The A bit of moonwalking on the arena floor from Flip Flop Fly. And there, look, Wild Willie pushing the fly across the arena and slamming it against the wall. This is a good drive. Bash. Not a great deal of damage done, just bouncing away. Good design, Flip Flop Fly. Now slow on the attack. Willie comes forward again and fly towards the pit, but just veering away at the last moment. Up on one side. That's curious. There again, the pickaxe of Wild Willie seems to be in one position. I wonder if it's stuck. Did I just see a little bit of a tear or a warp to the slot above the pickaxe? No, it's okay. I thought for a minute it was stuck, but it's not. Coming on the attack again. But it's needle-like and not causing great problems for Flip Flop Fly. But is the fly here immobilised? What's happened? No? Again, moving slowly, very, very slowly. Paul Wilcox at the control of Willie, now on the attack once again. I think it's been the more aggressive of the two robots. Bounces off the arena floor. Will that give it enough momentum to shove it into the pit? No. But the fly hardly buzzing at all, really. The spikes on the arena floor causing problems to Willie. Where's he gone here? Paul Wilcox! Oh no! After all that work! Off the arena spike, a little forward spurt, and now on the edge of the pit. They're teetering, they're tottering, but this is clever. They're trying to use the pickaxe here to bounce themselves away from the pit. Can they do it? Can they get away? No! Matilda says no. And now in comes Dead Metal.
Cease.
Oh, that is silly, silly Billy, Wild Willie. The judges will make the decision, but you're immobilised. That's clear.
It's a controversial decision, but Flip Flop Fly get it, and they're through to round two.
It's a great battle. It's a great battle. Yeah, you're all right with that, really, aren't you?
Yeah, no problem at all.
Because
Spot on.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's it, yeah.
cool.
Definitely.
We all know where we stand then. Thank you very much.
Wild Willie driving themselves into oblivion. Flip Flop Fly go through. Next up, the robot with a global appeal. Atlas against Challenger 2.
From Bath, Atlas.
Two wheelchair motors provide the power. A spike and cutting disc the weaponry. 2mm steel the shell. The wheels are from a tractor, a lawnmower and a golf trolley. Will Atlas conquer the Roboteer's world?
Hi, I'm Richard. This is Jan, and this is my partner Paul, and this is Atlas. As you can see, we've got a West Country rough and ready paint finish. The robot is powered by 12 and 24 volts and has a 12-volt cutting disc at the rear and a front dozing blade. Also, we have a little man on top who's expendable.
From High Wycombe, Challenger 2.
Dad, Steve Dove, flutters back to the wars after fighting with Challenger in the last series. The rotating lifting device is key here with its fearsome spikes. Come and get me is the challenge.
My name's Steve Dove. This is Challenger 2, a development of Challenger from the last war. These are my two team members, Andy and Chris, my two sons. Since the last war, we've developed a new weapon for the front. It's an upwardly rotating device doing about 100 RPM and it's driven by a motorcycle starter motor. Hopefully it'll lift another robot up into the air and we'll be able to push underneath it.
You certainly need something. In the last series, playing King of the Castle against Matilda, couldn't lift the house robot up, lacked weight, was pushed away, off and out. Now back and improved though.
Roboteers, stand by.
Atlas from Bath with Richard Dallimore. He'd like to be like Indiana Jones. And Challenger 2.
3.
Team captain Steve Dove and boys Chris and Andrew. Chris is a big karate expert. Chop, chop. Out comes Challenger 2, nervously. So Atlas moving away. And now just pushing back against Challenger 2. All this rather tentative. I love the little model on top of Atlas. That's great, isn't it? Great fun. The care and design of these robots, the work that's gone into them this series has been fantastic. All credit to all the teams who've taken part. Sometimes we have a laugh at them, but earnest endeavour from each and every roboteer. Young Chris and Andrew at the controls of Challenger 2. And here it is. Yet to see that flailing, rotating weapon at the front, really get into action. We've yet to see anything from Atlas, to be honest, beyond, well, that actually. And I think Atlas is stuck on the arena wall. I think Atlas is immobilised. Let's turn the pages of the Atlas, shall we? Which country is that going to come down in? If on this Earth somewhere, well, it's going to come bashing down to Earth with a bang any moment, Atlas. What a disappointment. And now we start to turn up the heat. And I wonder if that's going to be melted any second. Oh! Well, they've lost their head. That's splendid. Oh dear, that was super. Shunt turns Atlas up and over. Well, I was talking about all the work and preparation. Oh dear, sorry Richard, Janet and Paul in the Atlas team. I know you've worked very hard, but this is what we love, you see. All your work and all our fun. They're just peeling away bits now of Atlas, having their fun, the house robots. No question who's the winner here.
Cease.
Kill-a-lot enjoying it.
What a finish. Atlas torched and hammered. Challenger 2, go through.
What a barbecue!
I'm hurt.
You're not hurt at all. You can't stop laughing. No, we loved it in here. Everyone in the pitch was really, really enjoying it.
He was expendable, we'll give him that. Yeah.
He was expendable, but it was full-time entertainment. So
Against Triceratops.
From Cardiff in Wales, Evil Weevil.
Captain Kevin Pritchard was part of the title-winning Panic Attack team in the last series, and you can see the similarities here. Electric-operated spikes, the shell ballistic fiberglass. One to watch this.
Hi, I'm Andrew, this is Michael, and this is our teacher, Mr. Pritchard. And this is our robot, Evil Weevil, representing the Lanthanum School. The shell is made out of fiberglass and Kevlar. And these are our main weapons, some lifting claws, which can do some pretty nifty damage.
Well, involved with Panic Attack in the last wars, Kevin Pritchard there on the left-hand side. Good team, won the competition, had everything. Good steering, control, manoeuvrability, power. The reigning champions, of course.
From Bristol, Triceratops.
At 75.2 kilos, it's the lightest in the field. Various sharp ramming weapons, and the unique triangular construction means there's no front, back, top or bottom, omnidirectional. That's a new one for us.
Roboteers, stand by.
The Welsh team with Evil Weevil, Kevin Pritchard, teacher, Andrew Davis and Michael Walsh, the pupils, and Tricerabot
3,
with the father and son team,
2,
Stan
1.
and Jason Launchbrick.
Activate.
And it's Tricerabot moving quickly across the arena floor. Now, this is a completely new sort of design for us. It has the Streammaker, of course, the self-righting mechanism. It has the spikes. It has the casters. It can go every which way. And at the moment, it's impaled Evil Weevil on the arena wall. But they're away. Again, magnificent design. And it has those little Velcro strips, we're told, as well. Quite what they want to stick onto with the Velcro, I'm not too sure. Certainly not Sergeant Bash. That's Tricerabot's problem at the moment, but they're away. I'm getting a message from the pits that the Velcro on top of Evil Weevil is designed to mesh itself up in a chainsaw or any other sort of trap mechanism with opponents or house robots, of course. And look at this. Tricerabot is certainly stuck on Evil Weevil. Smoke coming out there of Tricerabot. What on earth is all this smoke billowing out? There's a starter motor from a motorcycle, van wiper motors as well in there, but nothing to cause smoke like this. Tricerabot has impaled itself on the Evil Weevil machine. They're as flummoxed as we are. There you can see the spike has impaled itself on the Evil Weevil. But okay now, some sort of smoke screen perhaps to suck Evil Weevil in, thinking they were in trouble. But they're not. And Evil Weevil now on the attack. We've yet to see those front spikes being brought into operation from the Evil Weevil boys. Now perhaps in underneath Tricerabot. A low ground clearance of 50 millimetres and a splendid triangular machine. And up on its side, where it can go any which way, frontwards, backwards, but it's stuck there on its side. And that really is a turner. Now, can the Evil Weevil team finish them off here? One last shunt should do it. Oh, missed. Let's go back again, boys. Tricerabot surviving. Jason Launchbury is a potholer. That's one of his great hobbies. And he's got to dig himself out of a hole here. This is dead metal. But he's getting some punishment and loving it here. Jason Launchbury, that's his machine that's getting punishment from shunt with the pickaxe. Also, Evil Weevil, a little nudge on the side. Michael Walsh at the controls, a 15-year-old. Evil Weevil deciding to push into shunt as well. I wouldn't take on the house robots quite yet because that's your punishment.
Cease.
Ooh, says Michael. But cease call just in time. Evil Weevil should go through here.
Evil Weevil, the victors.
What does it feel like?
Next.
From Lancashire, Undertaker.
Can pull a Land Rover and cut its tyres to shreds with its scythe. The shell's 2mm thick aircraft aluminium, go-kart wheels and transmission provide speeds of 50 miles an hour.
This is Undertaker, and I'm Kevin. This is John and Philip.
Right, here we have the Undertaker, and our body is made out of T6 aluminium, but we've painted it so that it looks like wood, and that goes on in 3 layers. It goes white, and then a light brown, and then a dark brown, and the brush strokes make it look like it's made of wood. We had a plaque engraved, and we also got handles to make it look like a coffin, because it thought it was quite a good theme.
From Gloucester, Panzer.
On paper, as dangerous as a Panzer tank with its disc cutter and aluminium shell, but a quarter of the 79.9 kilos lies in the tracks. Steering and mobility could be a problem.
I'm Simon, this is Crom, and this is my eldest son Richard, and this is our robot Panzer. It's electrically powered, with 2 invalid carriage motors at the back, 2 large batteries in the front. This is our main weapon. It's 2-stroke petrol disc cutter. The blade does 5,000 RPM. And when we're not using that, we have this. Hopefully, we're going to cut pieces off all our opponents.
Robot ears, stand by.
There's the Undertaker with the brushwork, the woodwork, the panels and so on. And young John Robinson there told us all about that. And Panzer, the most frightening thing about the Panzer team, I think, is Crom on the right. Frightened me anyway.
Activate.
Here comes Panzer trundling out. Low centre of gravity. Could hit a problem if those tracks, the rubber tracks, get caught on anything, really. And Undertaker has the great pickaxe, but Undertaker flicked up by the arena spikes and bounced around like some grisly toy out there. There's the camera on Killalot. Close up and underneath there, the Undertaker. R.I.P. You may well be resting in peace. Within seconds, Undertaker. Panzer still doing all the work here. And now pushing Undertaker across the arena floor. John Robinson, Phil Robinson and Kevin Shirkcliffe need to do something here. This is great power from Panzer. We knew it had this strength. Now backing away and allowing Bash to take over. It's very civil of it. It's a worthy tactic, of course. Well-versed in Robot Wars lore. Push an opponent into the CPZ, the corner patrol zone, allow the house robots to take over. This is good work here, I think, by Panzer. Again, nudging the Undertaker away. And you'll have noticed throughout this, they've kept out of harm's reach from that great weapon on top of Undertaker, the great scythe, which we haven't really seen come into play at all. I don't think there's a great deal of life left in the Undertaker team, to be honest. They've got to do something here very, very quickly. Crom on the right. And he's given the Undertaker team the stare. They may have the scythe, but I think they've been psyched out of this. Trying to get control of Undertaker and push it back into the battle. I think it's all too little too late. Spinning around and doing very little. And I think this is Panzer's battle. And I think the tank will be back to fight again. What do the judges say, though?
And the judges have given it to Panzer.
best run for a glittering Robot Wars career in the future.
Well, we did better last year, actually.
Oh.
Second round, Panzer will now meet Challenger 2. It's Evil Weevil against Flip Flop Fly, and we'll take a rest.
Well, round 2's coming up, but now let's try and beat the high score in our Pinball Warrior tournament. Let the trials begin.
Craig, let's have a quick reminder of the scores so far, shall we? First up, Dominator setting the pace and still top of the leaderboard. Good scoring all round. Crusader got off to a good start. But then, oops. Eye of Newt made slow progress, steady, but too slow. Now, Six Pack was courageous, bold. A good challenger here. Fine scoring too. Kilohertz, slow off the mark, then started getting points on the board, built up ahead of steam, and ran into shunt. And then our final challenger so far, Jazzy Paintwork. Terrible run, only 35 points scored by Rox 2, and that's the lowest so far. And there we have it, Dominator, 160 points, Six Pack, the only worthy challenger really. Until Oblivion 2, perhaps, built at Trinity School Croydon as a sponsored project, powered by 2 C5 motors with an electric axe as the weapon. Tom James at the controls, Soren and Sapphire Belendran with him.
Stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
And I would think they'd go straight for the barrels and easy points. As you can see, 5 for each of the barrels tumbled. Underneath to knock barrels skittling. That's a good tactic. Now down the arena wall, dodging the spikes. And impaled by those spikes now. Aiming at the 50-point target tyre, but that, you see, is guarded by Bash. Getting 50 points for nudging the tyre, but in comes Killalot, and Killalot has the freedom of the arena. And I think Oblivion 2 is out of this. They're immobilised. They've gone, and now they're just fodder for the house robots. Killalot, Dead Metal, and Oblivion 2. Well, what a disappointment. They were picking up points steadily, not spectacularly. The wheels are turning, but there's nothing in the motors, they know it. A shake of the head there from Tom James, very disappointed. Pushed towards the bricks, no points in that. In comes Killalot. Oh, in comes Bash! Look what Bash has done to Killalot! The flamethrower has caught Killalot's brain alight, it seems. Oh dear.
Cease.
Well, Killalot on fire! What a turn up for the books that is! Someone's got to get into the arena and put Killalot out. He will not like being hot under the collar. Look at the grisly sight of Killalot. Brooding, angry. What have you done to me, he says. Oblivion 2. The barrels, at least 20 points there, and another 5. So it was steady. The tyre attacked. But it was around about now that the motors went. Killalot, Dead Metal, and Bash, and Killalot on fire. That's splendid. And confirmation, 75 points for Oblivion 2. Dominator still in the lead.
There'll be more pinball wizardry next time, but now let's charge back into the wars.
With our survivors, Panzer against Challenger 2, Evil Weevil against Flip Flop Fly, and Philippus with those Evil Weevil boys.
How does the Evil Weevil feel about the opposition?
It's a bit of a strange contraption. We don't really know what to do with it. We're going to push it around a bit and see what happens.
Okay.
It's a very strange shape.
It is very strange. Does that go for both of you as well? Push it around a bit and see what happens?
Try and cripple it, really.
Okay, all right. Hey, Flip Flop Fly. No. The Evil Weevil isn't sure what to do with you. So what are you going to do with them?
Oh, we're going to push them about a bit. It's a funny shape, isn't it?
Oh, my God.
Yes, indeed, funny shapes in the pits, and there are 3 of them. The Evil Weevil team. Kevin Pritchard, Andrew Davis and Michael Walsh. And Flip Flop Fly. Paul and Conrad Snook and Luke Angel. Hereford against Cardiff here. something of a local rivalry.
Activate.
Evil Weevil is the quicker of the two robots. It's a strange old thing, flip-flop fly, isn't it? Looks like a turbine from a jet revolving. It's hardly jet engine though, in terms of power or speed. Oh, Snoop at the controls. But it's Evil Weevil on the attack, biting in underneath with the spikes. Evil Weevil backing away. Flip-flop fly trying to get that great axe weapon to come in, the rolling axe, also with its spikes, and Evil Weevil driven into the CPZ, and now taking punishment from Shunt through the top of the ballistic fiberglass. Oh, just missing. The great axe of Shunt almost down through one of the holes in the arena floor, and now look at this. Axe to axe, weapon to weapon, slam, bam! Thank you, ma'am, says Flip-Flop Fly away from Shunt. Evil Weevil keeping its distance sensibly slow. We've seen the power now of that great weapon. In goes Evil Weevil again underneath. It's a bit like a huge, great pendulum, that Flip-Flop Fly weapon of Paul's. That's the camera on Shunt. The great rubber tyres of Flip-Flop Fly, should they be pushed towards the flame pit, will be in trouble. I don't think any of the house robots here can cause great damage to Flip-Flop Fly unless it is to those tyres. Bouncing off, though, the weapon of Shunt. So in comes Matilda with a chainsaw tail to rip and shred. And Flip-Flop Fly, all right, let's all have a go. But I'll tell you what, the fact that the house robots are closing in on Flip-Flop Fly means it must be immobilised out there. They're allowed to do it if there's no life left in the house robot. It's still moving, but there's obviously something wrong. Matilda, Killalot, they're all in here. One of the tyres seems to be slowly deflating, no wonder. Shunt takes a close-up of Killalot for its holiday snap album. And just lifting, flip, flop, fly away, all our hopes and dreams. A flutter, a shudder, but no more than that. The tyre deflated, the hopes have gone. And Evil Weevil, at the bottom of your picture, has won this one.
Well, Flip-Flop Fly flopped out of the competition. Evil Weevil goes through to the next round. Hey, let's hear it for Evil Weevil!
Oh, that's
This is
a
really
great
something
one.
else. For all the would-be 2CV owners in the near future, look what can happen with good French engineering.
How are you feeling now, then? It's kind of must be a bit of a mixture of feelings, is it?
It is, yeah, because we're, great. It started that we got through and all, but curious about what we're going to come up against now.
Okay, so a mixture of jubilation and anticipation.
Trepidation.
And trepidation. For the Evil Weevil.
Ooh, that's spooky. Philippa, I mean. She scared me. Evil Weevil through. Next up, Panzer against the Challenger 2.
How do you feel about your contestant, about who you've been drawn up against?
Interesting. It should be interesting.
Why?
Very.
Come on.
Well, we're not going to get very close to him with all the prongs he's got sticking out.
That's very true. But how will you actually get him? That's defensive. What about the attack?
Well, there's only one place he hasn't got any prongs, and that's in the back. So we're hoping to push him.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll look out for that. Come on then, come on then. What were you saying about his treads earlier?
I want to snap.
You want them to snap. I'm not giving away their tactics, and they're not allowed to look as we discuss what are your tactics. Because they know they can't get close to you because of all your prongs.
Let's try and push him down the pit.
Push them down the pit, that's what you're going to attempt to do, yeah? Yes? We're all agreed on this. Who's doing the driving? You again, okay. Who's doing the weapons?
Me.
You. Who's doing the lights?
I think I'm me.
The Panzer team, Simon Jones on the left, wants to write a sci-fi series. Crom on the right plays Pool and Skittles. And there's the Challenger 2 series. Chris Dove at the weapons, Andrew Dove at the controls.
3, 2, 1, activate.
So it's Panzer, again slowly moving forward, trying to stay clear of that front weapon of Challenger 2, spinning at 100 revs per minute. And really, I would say Panzer's main hope here is to push Challenger 2 to a CPZ and let the house robots take over. Challenger 2 weaponry vastly superior. Not a great difference in the speeds here. Challenger 2 can only get up to about 4 miles an hour. Panzer up and over. As long as it stays out of trouble, and Panzer 2 can get a shove or two in, it has a hope. And we have, of course, a history of upsets and underdogs winning in Robot Wars. They're the front spikes of Panzer. Richard Jones at the controls wants to run his own business, wants to get straight A's in his GCSEs, loves to glide as well. Keen glider, gliding over the arena floor. Challenger 2 towards the pit, and that's where I thought Panzer would have a chance, shoving and pushing, and Challenger 2 is in the pit. And this is an upset, and in comes Killalot now, with the front prong to lift Challenger 2 up and away, and into oblivion perhaps. Now Panzer taking punishment from Shunt. Killalot exacting retribution as well for the punishment done to Challenger 2. Young Chris and Andrew Dove at the controls of Challenger 2, what can they do? Shunt and Killalot in for the slaughter. Well, the young lads can't do anything here. They've just got to stand and watch their beloved Walt being bashed up. Oh dear, and perforated and punctured. Tee-hee, it's House Robot Lee. They were bored, you see. Had to do something.
Well, now that the House Robots have stopped misbehaving, I can tell you that the clear winner is Panzer. Panzer's through to the next round.
Did you enjoy that as well?
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah?
Yes, everything according to plan.
Good. And the next bout?
Much better, we'll put the stone saw on.
Oh, the what?
Stone saw.
Go on, what's
5,000
that?
RPM, 12-inch blade.
Oof. With statistics like that, you want to be dreading it on Robot Wars.
The vital statistics that matter, Panzer through. And of course, in the final of this heat, they'll meet Evil Weevil.
Well, 2 more robots decommissioned, 2 more to go over the top for a place in our series semi-finals.
Craig, how did they get this far? First, Evil Weevil beat Triangular Tri-Terabot, and then flip-flop, fly away, and don't bother us again. Panzer sunk Undertaker 6 feet under, and then nudged Challenger 2 to the pit.
Evil Weevil team, how are you feeling?
Pretty confident.
Pretty confident? Well, do you think he can take you out, though?
I don't think he can do too much damage to us.
All right, give it up for the Evil Weevil team. Good luck, guys. Panzer, you heard them. They think they're going to have you.
No chance.
But don't you think those tracks make you a bit vulnerable?
Nah, the tracks are tough.
Are they?
Yeah, you can't hurt them.
Yeah, you can't bend them or anything like that?
Nah.
You can't cut them with Killalot's robotic arm?
He could, but we're not going near him.
Oh, but what if they push you into Sir Killalot?
I'd like to see him try.
That's the fight and talk. Fight and talk. Prepare to do battle. The Panzer team.
This then for a place in the series semi-finals.
3, 2, 1, activate.
Robot Wars has found 2 stars, I think, here. In the Evil Weevil team, young Michael at the controls, who's looked pensive and serious throughout. And in the Panzer team, Crom on the left shakes his head. He's been a star for me, but he's shaking his head. Look at this. Panzer has not got off and away. There's a problem right at the start of the heat final. Panzer seems to have been immobilised. What a shame this is. Richard Jones and Simon Jones and Crom. Well, they were asked just before they went into the cherry picker, are you happy with your robot? That's an inquiry we always make. Yes was the reply. And obviously something has gone wrong badly right at the start here. There's no life in Panzer at all. Richard at the controls can do nothing. In comes Evil Weevil, and don't forget, Kevin Pritchard and the Evil Weevil team, the teacher there from Llantarnam School, has a winning streak. He was part of the championship-winning Panic Attack in the last series, and it looks to me as if Evil Weevil have won this one. They're slamming on the attack of Panzer again. First time we've really seen the lifting claws at the front. Tipped with blood at the team. And the lifeblood, the very lifeblood of Panzer is trickling away. Oh, what a shame. Well, there you see Kevin at the controls of Evil Weevil. And I think because they're splendid roboteers, they'll be disappointed in the outcome of this. They'd have wanted a better battle themselves. The great tracks of Panzer being lifted up by Kilolot. Well, those tracks alone weigh 20 kilos, and look at Kilolot just spinning it around as if it's a mere bauble. Nothing Richard Jones can do here whatsoever. The torch of Bash, they can only grin and bear it. Well done for getting to the heat final, but it's Evil Weevil who go to the semis.
Well, Kilolot saves the day. The Panzers are out. The winner is Evil Weevil! Well, young man, you said you was going to go marching all the way into Poland, and it didn't even start. What went wrong?
It didn't start.
Well, why didn't it start?
I don't know.
We'll tell you that soon enough, but we told you the tracks were tough.
The tracks were tough, yeah. They didn't even snap when Kilolot tried to get them.
It won't burn neither.
But, you know, you're going back in your bunker, you lot, until next year. Never mind, give it up for Panzer. Yes! You're through to the series semi-finals. How do you think you're going to go in there? Reasonable. I mean, well, you're not as confident you was about this one.
Well, it depends who we're up against.
Any robots out there that you hold particular fear, who you don't want to get drawn against at the moment?
Obviously Panic Attack, because I was in the team last year, so...
Yeah.
We won that in the final.
Yeah. You want that in the final?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, good luck for the series semi-finals. Give it up for Evil Weevil! Well, if you think you can beat us, you're clutching at straws, because our robots rule on Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
Laughing there, you got to laugh, eh? You spend months working on your robot and doesn't even stand a chance, doesn't even move once in the house robot's ready to shreds. You got to laugh, haven't you, eh?
That's what it comes for.
Pussycat go through, next up Cassius 2 against Dundee.
From Suffolk, Cassius 2.
The long-awaited appearance of the runner-up from the last series, Cassius and Rex Garrett, a flip-up paddle and CO2-powered rear spike the weapons. Motors from lawnmowers. Can this cut the rest down to size? And what innovations, what surprises this time around? Because in the last wars, Cassius stunned us all. The first ever appearance of a SREMEC, a self-righting mechanism. Cassius 2, the favourite to win the wars because of agility and ability like that. Fantastic roly-poly style. But then met Panic Attack in the final. Were beaten.
My name's Rex Garrett and this is my crew. Mick Cutter, Simon West, and this is my robot, Cassius 2. It's much faster, much lighter, got a more effective weapon at the back, which is a ram which protrudes about 3/4 of a metre. The enormous power should be quite a lethal weapon. And of course it still does its famous flip, and it has air suspension. And that's about it.
From Bristol, Dundee.
Drive chains from a car, teeth chains from a hospital hoist. The mainframe's a physio's couch. The bodywork comes from freezers. They plundered everything from here to Dundee. Enough to drive anyone loco, and that's how they appeared in the last wars. And would you believe it? They were drawn against Cassius then. They're against Cassius 2 now. And that's not lucky for them. Rolled up and over. Going loco, but not in Acapulco. On the arena floor. And it wasn't the locomotion too long.
My name's Eric Mannion. I'm part of the Dundee team with Richard Mannion, my son, and Charles Humphreys, his friend. Built mainly of scrap material. Probably has taken us about 3 months to build. The idea of the teeth is to actually draw the opponent into the disc cutter. The disc cutter is actually mounted on the top part of the jaw, which also lifts and lowers, which should be able to tip an opponent or push them over.
Robot ears, stand by.
Another change for Cassius 2 this time around. Mick Cutter there on the right was with the Chaos team in the last series. And there's Dundee.
3,
with
2,
Dad Eric Mannion,
1.
Richard his son, and Charles Humphreys. And it's the Croc that comes rocking out of the starting traps first. Cassius using the big flipper. Ooh, and immediately driven here. Cassius into Killalot's claws. The great lance and the drill and the pincer of Killalot, but away, Cassius, and using good speed too. A zero turning circle. How much speed, we asked Rex Garrett. Sufficient was his reply. Keeping his cards very close to his chest. Cassius 2 now bumping against Dundee and trying to shovel it towards Killalot, towards the CPZ. You push an opponent into a CPZ, a corner patrol zone, and that means the house robots can come out to play. Killalot against Dundee. Dundee away, slamming into the wall and bouncing off. There's Rex Garrett and Mick Cutter at the controls of Cassius 2. Good battle this. And Dundee already doing better than Loco did in the last series until then. And falling the same way. Sucked in, flipped up and over and out. And now it's Cassius 2 against the House Robots. And this is what we love about Rex Garrett. A smile etched on his face of pure joy as his bot takes on the House Robots. Oh, and taking terrible punishment from Shunt, slamming down through the polycarbonate body shell, trying to flip Shunt away, rammed against the arena wall. Cassius 2 already through, of course, because Dundee, a sorry, sad, lost sight in the middle of the arena.
Cassius, cheeky as ever, they're through to round 2.
The victim in the jaws.
It wouldn't go in.
No!
We tried.
You've met Cassius before, haven't you, and Rex and the team?
Yes, we were loco in the last series, and
Yes.
we met Rex, and he beat us then. So we were a bit disappointed, really, when we were drawn against him this time. But if you're going to go out to the best, isn't it?
Well, exactly. It was spectacular, wasn't it?
It was very good.
You two must be very proud.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Brilliant.
And I'm sure. And that round of applause is for these guys too, isn't it? There you go. All right? You go home happy and I'm pleased. So you two are hoping to go all the way, aren't you? Now, come on.
We want to do well, yes.
Yeah?
We prefer to have some good tussles with the house robots rather than the competitors, I think. But
Well, you were in there with Matilda, I have
oh
to
yes,
say.
we had a good go.
We had a little bit of hassle.
Is it? I know, you only just got away with it, really, didn't you?
You can tell his honesty.
Yeah, exactly.
Poor Dundee team, drawn against Cassius again and going out. Next up, Plunderstorm against Thermidor. Hot stuff.
From Hampshire, Plunderstorm.
The boast is this can go faster than time. Its steel costs £4,000 to build over 500 hours. The rest, well, it's a secret. But with their own entrance theme and their costumes, they were great fun in the last series. Fun they were, and they had their boasts last time around, but against the Sentinel and Matilda, were they frightened? Did they duck out? Did they say, we're going in here for safety?
They're all calling you chickens over there.
We're not chickens, we just wanted to get through to the next round, but most of all, we want to have a go at the house robots. Silence! How dare you! We're back and we're going to stay. More violence. My name is Mike Onslow. This is Ken Burt, and that is Brian Kilburn.
And this is Plunderstorm. And our robot is our weapon. It's got power, it's got blades, and we got attitude.
We got lots and lots of attitude.
From Norwich, Thermidor.
The heaviest in the field with its huge pincers at the front of the lobster-shaped 3mm alloy shell. Cycle helmet and all. Start pedalling, boys, otherwise you could be on your bike.
We're Team Lobster. My name's Dave. This is Eli. This is Ian. This is our robot Thermidor. We've got steel claws on the front, a spike, the wheels are off the Metro, and we've got a cutting disc on the rear.
Robot ears, stand by.
They're the Plunderstorm team. Mike Onslow, the captain of sculptor and mould making, has his own business. And Thermidor,
3,
with David Harding and Ian Harvey at the controls.
Activate.
So will Plunderstorm live up to their attitude and their boasts? Thermidor, what a great design, the lobster shape. And what problems here again for Plunderstorm right at the start? They seem to have steering problems, design problems. Well, they have attitude. Will Thermidor leave them with a few ats to be chewed up? Will those caps and sunglasses and the attitude and boasts all mean nothing here for Plunderstorm because they're not moving? And in come the house robots. Plunderstorm, accused of being chickens last time around. Well, cluck, cluck, boys. You're doing nothing here. In comes Dead Metal. Oh, Mike Onslow, Ken Burton, Brian Kilburn. What's happened to you again here, boys? We expected so much. There's the camera on Killalot as Dead Metal backs away. In comes Matilda. Again, the camera on Killalot recording every grisly detail of the demise of Plunderstorm. Plunderstorm? It's not even a shower. Well, the blows are raining down under a hail of blows from Shunt. It's a cloudy future for Plunderstorm, that's for certain. It's snow joke for them, and the weather forecast is that the Plunderstorm will be swiftly snuffed out and there will be sunny skies ahead for Thermidor. That's the end of Plunderstorm again.
Cease.
Plunderstorm in the pit. Now Thermidor can get his claws into round 2.
Steady, slow and not spectacular start. They tell us that Scutter's Revenge has this mighty power. Engines like we've never seen or heard, hardly roaring, more like purring, but nonetheless shoving Zeus against the arena wall and now pushing it over the arena floor too towards the grid. Oh look! The little pickaxe has gone, snapped off on the arena grid and into the pit. Well, that was over very quickly for Zeus. They're out.
The gods weren't with them today. Zeus goes in the pit. Let's hear it for Scutter's Revenge.
Well, the damage was done. The spike came off on the arena grill. And then Scutter's Revenge won last heave-ho and Zeus was gone.
Oh dear. What a shame, disaster.
Oh dear.
Oh, the shame of it all.
Oh.
We weren't chickens. We're not like the plunder boys. Well,
Those
we went
without
weapons. We went without weapons.
Yeah.
Without anything working.
Yes.
We weren't chickens. They took our spike off, but.
The longest wins, basically. This is Mammoth. Legs made from fence posts. The face is an automatic door opener. The lifting arm is a garden hoe. It took 4.5 weeks to build.
My name's Ian Burrell and this is my teammate Stuart. This is Mammoth the walking robot. He's got 8 legs, removable armour, a 360-degree weapon system, which is guided by an ultrasonic rangefinder at the front.
Anarachnid began as a 6-legged beetle, was modified, grew 2 more legs, finally ended up with 12 legs. The body shell is top secret.
I'm Mike, and this is Mike the driver. Anarachnid. Got no weapons, got no armour, plus they can't be detected by radar.
Mike Tibbs, one of the characters, obviously, of Robot Wars.
Stand by.
He's a freelance designer. There's Mammoth, though, his opponents, with Stuart and Ian Burrell, brothers. And Anarachnid.
3.
Mike is actually godfather to the younger Mike, who's 15, Mike Smith, that is. Slow and steady progress. Mammoth, with the fence post legs, and Anarachnid. Don't make any plans for Christmas, boys. You'll still be here. When they eventually come to meet, it could come to blows from those spinning arms and the lifting arm on Mammoth, as we've heard. Anarachnid doesn't really have any weaponry. Looks great, though. Well, I was going to say scuttling across the arena floor. You know what I mean. Well, they're eventually going to come to blows, I think. Great work has gone into these robots. Patient work, as you can see. And now Anarachnid just levering Mammoth to one side. Oh, look at that! Mammoth on fire! The flamethrower that flicked out from Bash has caught Mammoth's woolly hairstyle. After all that build-up, is that a judge's syrup on top? A wig, perhaps, of a barrister? I don't know, perhaps it's just some piece of carpet, but it's on fire at the moment. And the boys will give themselves a real carpeting afterwards, I should think. Poor old Mammoth's on fire. Anarachnid's now being dragged across the arena floor by the house robots. This is shunt. Oh, well, they spied a spider out there and they're taking it apart now. Oh, that's in incy-wincy Spidey, incy-wincy little bits. And Mammoth, well, it was a woolly mammoth at one stage.
Cease.
Now it's a balding minnow, really. Not a lot left of it, or Anarachnid. They can celebrate. Very close, this one. Might even be a tie, you know. There's the burning, smouldering mammoth. Put out of its pain at last. Never really drawn into the web of Anarachnid. Very tight.
It was a draw. Both robots are magnificent. I don't understand what on earth the house robots' problems were.
I think they were made out of paper mache now as well. We had a problem walking.
Did you?
We started with all
We
good
didn't
intentions.
notice.
No, we sort of had like a lethargic hobble.
Yes, you did. Well, it was true gladiator entertainment, so thank you very much.
Yeah, all credit to these guys.
Oh,
They made it
shake hands.
entertaining. Well done.
Yeah, oh, mutual congratulations.
Boot walking, foot stomping carnage. Nancy Sinatra would have been proud. But now it's back to the rock and roll of the championships.
I told you about the transmitter that had to be confiscated from the audience. We've got it here. Derek, tell me about this. Where did you find it?
Fortunately, the security guards confiscated it off of one of the audience.
Do you think that member of the audience knows any of the robot is, or do you think it's just somebody out to cause trouble?
No, I don't think they ought to cause trouble at all. It's actually a very small robot. I think they just bought it to show it to us.
Oh, and I was worried about cheating. And look, somebody's brought in a little robot for us. It's very sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
But can I just compare it to the size of Killalot here? Don't think it could do that much damage, do you?
Oh, I don't know. You can get underneath. No,
We could get underneath and get into the business.
Spikes.
Oh, look at those spikes in the units. Just imagine that.
I don't think there was any malice intended at all. So.
No malice intended at all. So we can wrap that case up.
Yeah.
God, I was a private investigator for a second there. Oh, well, thanks to good Tarek.
Okay.
Agatha Christie mystery hits Robot Wars. This is the semi-final lineup. Cassius 2 against Pussycat. Scudder's Revenge against Thermidor.
Rumours are rife around the pit that if you end up in the pit, on the back, right, on your back, go on,
It would get out.
you would flip yourself
No,
out
not flip.
of the pit.
It would project itself out with that ram straight up in the air and out.
If it goes in
Very
backwards.
spectacular. If it goes in backwards. It has to be backwards. If it goes in frontwards,
We've had it.
we've had it.
Okay.
We are in deep, deep mess.
Wow, this should be a pretty spectacular battle, don't you think?
Well, there is one of Robot Wars' great innovators, Rex Garrett on the left, and the Pussycat team. Their captain, of course, is Robin Herrick. Promises to be a tremendous battle, this one. Cassius 2 with the flipper.
2.
There's Pussycat,
Activate.
which will roll over to get the diamond saw into play immediately. Against the wedge front of Cassius, but don't forget the flipper lies within that wedge front. That's the back of the Pussycat cherry picker. Cassius won't want to go on the flame pit. Controls, of course, protected by the polycarbonate shell, but could burn out if torched. Great shunting and bashing and barging going on. Pussycat trying to right itself. The Shremek technique brought into Robot Wars by Cassius into the pit backwards. So we'll see. Can they get themselves out, or did it go in sideways? That's the first time we saw the great CO2-powered spike lunging out. Now they went on the drive, misjudged, went into the pit on its side. They won't get out from there. What a shock this is. Cassius 2 have gone.
Shock all round. Cassius 2, my personal favourite, goes out. The winner is Pussycat. What went wrong?
Well, we went in the pit again. I'm not driving this time. He takes full responsibility.
So you're responsible. I mean, you are probably my favourite robot to win this. I had my money on you guys. And
Well, you lost again.
Well, you've got loads of tricks that the robot can do that we never got to see.
I know, but that was a terrific opponent.
It's a fine robot, isn't it?
It really is.
Cassius was responsible for one of the finest moments on Robot Wars 2. We were expecting fireworks from you this time round, but it never happened.
Well, you got the fireworks out of the pit.
Never mind. Ladies and gentlemen, give Cassius 2 a round of applause. Well, that is a stunning robot.
Yeah, well, it did the business. We got them in the pit. What can I say?
Do you think you can go on and win it now? You've taken out one of the favourites.
Well, it was a good match. I'm sure there's some other strong competitors out there, but we're ready.
It seems like a very difficult robot to sort of knock over, because it's got wheels everywhere, really.
You can't knock it over.
No?
Whichever way it is, it's running. That was part of the original design. Before we cut any metal, we knew it had to do that.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a round of applause. This is Pussycat.
For Cassius 2, too soon. Come here. Come on, what happened?
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
I wasn't holding any controls. I was just stood there. It was
Did
all...
it with your mind.
It's his fault.
It's my fault, yes.
Is it your fault?
into the pit backwards,
Oh, no, mate.
Can I have it in
No, you cannot in writing, no.
I want it in writing. No, he tried his best.
You were a new team. I had high hopes for you because it's a great combination. Will you ever work together again, do you think?
No.
Probably not.
And you just didn't go in the pit the right way.
No.
We wanted to see that stunt where you sprang back out.
Well, it would have done, but I mean, that's a pity. And I won't get to fight any house robots this year. It's going to be sad.
I know. It's just,
Oh dear, oh dear.
it's
Never
all
mind.
over.
All over and done.
But
Well, it's
knowing
not
you,
really his fault.
knowing you, you're going to go and help everyone else with their robots now, aren't you?
Well, that's the usual way.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you're great. Thank you so much for bringing us Cassius 2. We're only sorry we didn't get to see him to perform more.
Well done.
He performed fantastically well. That robot was springing around all over the place.
Which side do we go, left or right?
Yeah, it was a bit shorter
Don't
than
go
we
all
would have
cool on
liked.
me. Don't go all cool on me.
But, you know, it was the result we wanted, as they say.
Yes, it was the result you wanted. You were all too cool.
I think there's nerves inside that you can't see.
Yeah? Yeah?
Beneath
It's
this calming
fantastic.
exterior.
You beat Cassius 2. It's fantastic. You're through.
I think the emotion came out during the match.
They're too cool. Just too cool.
Such a shame Rex Garrard and Mick Cutter together with Simon West and Cassius 2, they've gone Pussycat through, and it's Scudder's Revenge against Thermidor up next. That's the Scudder's Revenge team. Remy in the middle, Darren Ball on the right, and there's Thermidor with Ian Harvey, David Harding and Eli Kirkpatrick. The youngster on the right.
Stand by.
Wants to be a rocket scientist. Well, will they get into orbit off the front shovel of Scudder's Revenge, I wonder?
Activate.
Thermidor with the glaring eyes and the lobster pincers on the attack. They have a cycle helmet in the front as well, but Scudder's Revenge has that huge front bulldozer blade and plenty of power. The starter motors from 2.9 litre V6 engines. Oh, behave, Scudder's Revenge, says the message on the back. Well, Thermidor wants to get it into its claws and then push towards a CP's but it's being pushed towards the pit itself.
Cease.
And the lobster is in the net and caught. And it's Scudder's Revenge who go through.
Thermidor gets thrown into the pot of boiling water. Scudder's Revenge is through to the next round. I wonder what a Scudder is. Let's hear it for Scudder's Revenge.
Apart from the obvious, what happened from your point of view?
We just didn't have enough traction. They beat us.
There's lobster a la pit, which we never expected.
No,
but
never mind.
Never mind.
What an absolute nightmare, isn't it? Has it been big fun? Yeah. Good. Well, that's what matters. That's the most important thing. And will we see you again, do you think? Yeah. Will you make a bigger, better lobster for us? Yeah. OK, we'll look forward to that next time. Thank you very much for lobster Thermidor. Sadly, lobster a la pit.
Yep.
What was it? What was it?
Judgment Day again.
For the lobster.
Yeah, for the lobster. Red and crispy. Yeah.
Red and
Just
crispy.
the way we like it.
Yeah.
We had lobster and it tasted good.
Yeah. OK, well done, guys. Get on with it.
Thank you.
Get on with it. It's not that easy.
Oh, no.
Nothing's been easy in this Heat M so far. Ups and downs, twists and turns. Scudder's Revenge through, of course. And now meeting Pussycat in the final. What can happen here? It's been a very eventful heat, this one.
Two more robots off to meet their makers. Two robotic immortals about to do battle for a place in our series semi-finals.
What day is it, Scudder's Revenge team?
Judgment Day.
Who
again.
for?
For the Pussycats.
For the Pussycat, you reckon?
We know.
This robot is mean.
Everyone knows the last thing you do every day is you put the cat out. And that's exactly what we're going to do.
You heard what they're saying, come on.
Yeah, I think they're saying we're going home, but I think they might be catching the next train.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be mean, this fight.
Pussycat progressing quietly and confidently so far. Hitting Hammerhead very early on. And then the biggest surprise of all, the knockout blow to Cassius 2. As Rex Garrard's machine went into the pit. That's a huge surprise. Scudder's Revenge beat a Robot Wars god in Zeus. And then from the pits of the Robot Wars, Oceans came Thermidor and into the lobster pot.
Roboteers, stand by.
Scudder's Revenge from Essex, a confident team. Remy Idris, Darren Ball and Graham Warner, the team captain. And Pussycat, Robin Herrick, David Gribble and Robert Bittington.
Activate.
And there immediately, Pussycat flipping up and over so that they can bring the Diamond saw into play. Scutter's Revenge, the main weapon is that powerful scoop on the front. Pussycat turning again to bring the blade in. Is that the same? Is that the same blade? They've brought another diamond blade on there. A diamond saw blade. Certainly looks darker than the one we had before. Taking on Scudder. Oh, and it was a different blade. It's shattered. It's a completely different blade. And they could be in trouble here now, Pussycat. Scudder's Revenge on the attack. Look at this. The blade shatters against the arena wall. And not only could they be in trouble from Scudder's Revenge, but they could be in trouble here with the judges, Pussycat. I didn't know. I don't think any of us knew they changed the blade. And the rules and regulations quite clearly say hardened blades which may shatter are prohibited by Robot Wars. This is naughty now. The Pussycat team have done something they shouldn't have done. Scudder's Revenge are on the attack. They'll want to finish it here and then. We'll wait and see what happens to Pussycat afterwards, but back on the arena floor, it's Pussycat bashing Scudder's Revenge against the arena wall. Using the power there from the 4 wheels, the electric motors, 2 750-watt electric motors. Oh, and look at this shove from Pussycat. This for a place in the series semi-final. And was that a waft of smoke we saw from Scudder's Revenge? Yes, the engines are smoking. It's burnt out Scudder's Revenge. Immobilizer slam from Pussycat. It's not a well-behaved cat, I can tell you, though. They shouldn't have changed that blade the way they did. Scudder's Revenge immobilised now. Let Matilda in. Well, what an eventful heat this has been, and what an eventful heat final. Now Scudder's Revenge already smoking on the flame pit. Killalot tossing it up and over. The Scudder's Revenge boys know their time is nigh in this heat final. I'm sure, though, someone is going to have words with Pussycat about the change of that blade. On to the big flipper on the arena floor, and that's Scudder's Revenge over and out. A smile, what a heat final. Laced with controversy, this is the way it finished for Scudder's Revenge, over and out. But it's gone to the judges because of the change of blades, and Pussycat didn't realise they couldn't use hardened blades.
We didn't know that they changed the blade.
Right.
So it wasn't hardened steel blade because it shattered, and they're forbidden the rules. So they're discussing whether it's an infringement big enough for disqualification, but we'll let you know when the judge made a decision.
OK, thank you very much.
Well, it's up to Martin Smith, Noel Sharkey and Adam Harper on the right to make that decision. What a shame it would be for Pussycat. Great team. But look at this. This is where the hardened steel blade shatters. Pieces of that blade could have gone anywhere. It's clearly against the rules. Philippa, you have the decision right now.
As it's a technical contravention, and for health and safety reasons, the judges have had to vote that you be disqualified because the saw shattered, and it was against the rules. And I'm really sorry to have to break that news to you because you have a fantastic robot and you've been a great team. But we'll have to let you go.
I'll have to come back next year.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh, shattering for them. It means that Scudder's Revenge go through by default, but will they be able to take their place in the semi-finals? Did the motors burn out? Will they be fit to continue? It all ended rather ignominiously, embarrassingly. Can they go on?
For you, it means that Scudder's Revenge now is a series semi-finalist. Does that mean that you can actually play an active part in the next fight?
Give us 20 minutes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That quick?
The robot's fine. All it was a battery problem.
You told me Judgment Day was overdue. Was
No,
postponed.
it's postponed, yeah.
It was postponed.
Yeah.
And it was postponed.
Yeah.
You're still in the game.
Yeah.
So Judgment Day has yet to come.
Yes, it certainly is.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Okay.
Cheers.
Well, you can grovel and beg when you're down on all fours, but we'll show no mercy on Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
to life at number 13. And then when my mother was in the lifeboat, she found she had me and not my brother. So that was an awful worry to her, but of course she couldn't do a thing about it. A bitterly cold night, she had to look after me. But when we were rescued by the Carpathia, she found him. He'd been looked after by one of the other passengers.
Melvina Jean och hennes familj skulle emigrera till USA, men ödet ville annorlunda. Melvinas far blev kvar ombord och familjen flyttade tillbaka till morföräldrarna i England.
I hadn't ever heard a word about the Titanic, by the way, until I was 8 years old. And then my mother was getting married again, so I thought she'd better tell me what had happened and what had happened to my father. Because I looked on my grandfather as my father, you see. And for the first time, a few years ago, one of my aunts died, and I saw a photograph of my father, which I had never seen before.
So that was the first time you saw your father?
That was the first time I'd seen a photograph of my father.
What did he look like?
Oh, very handsome.
Melvina Jean invigde idag Postmuseums utställning Breven från Titanic.
Ja, de flesta skriver ju bara att vi ska ut på Atlanten och i första klass till exempel så skriver en passagerare du kan ej ha en aning om en sådan lyx. Känslan var väl att den var så stor så de fick en väldig känsla av trygghet, skulle jag kunna tänka mig.
How does it feel to get all this attention about something you don't remember?
I don't remember anything about it. But everybody is so interested. Luckily, I like people, all nationalities. They're all the same to me. I like them all. So I'm quite happy to go around talking to people and being interviewed.
Så då
Tonight I'm feeling lucky. Tonight is all I feel. I can win your heart if I spin the wheel. 'Cause I have never ever felt this strong. Now I know where I belong. Tonight is in your eyes. Tonight is in my heart. I gotta let you know before tonight is over. 'Cause tonight is all we got. Baby, can't you see? Let's do what's right and fall in love tonight. Yeah, yeah. You know I'm up to something. Yeah, yeah. I can easily make you smile. But I can wait till morning to show you how I feel. I gotta win your heart. I gotta spin the wheel. 'Cause I have never ever felt this strong. Now I know where I belong. Tonight is in your eyes. Tonight is in my heart. I gotta let you know before tonight is over. 'Cause tonight is all we got. Baby, can't you see? Let's do what's right and fall in love tonight. Oh. No, I can't wait till morning. Ooh, no, I can't wait till morning. 'Cause I have never ever felt this strong. Now I know where I belong. I gotta let you know before tonight is over. 'Cause tonight is all we got. Baby, can't you see? Let's do what's right and fall in love tonight. Let's fall in love
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sätta knät på mig.
Sitter ni i knä på varandra nu? Ja, fint.
Baby, please try to forgive me. Stay here, don't put out the glow. Hold me now, don't bother. If every minute it makes me weaker, you can save me from the man that I've become. Oh yeah. Looking back on the things I've done, I was trying to be someone. I played my part and kept you in the dark. Now let me show you the shape of my heart. Sadness is beautiful, and loneliness is tragic. So let me get this way. Touch me now, don't bother. It makes me weaker. You can save me from the man I've become, baby. Things I've done, I was trying to be someone, trying to play my part and kept you in the dark. Now let me show you the shape of my heart. I'm here with my confession. Got nothing to hide no more. I don't know where to start, but to show you the shape of my heart. Looking back on things I've done, I never wanna play the same old part. Keep you in the dark. Now let me show you the shape of my heart. I was trying to be someone, trying to play my part and kept you in the dark. Now let me show you the shape of my heart. I was trying to be someone, trying to play my part and kept you in the dark. Now let me show you the shape of, show you the shape of my heart.
Thank you, Stoker.
Me, Cerberus through Killers, your driving is the pits man! Daisy Chopper and Griffin up next.
From Surrey, Daisy Chopper.
They had Caliban in the last series, crunched by Killalot. Now back with circular saws and a hammer to choose from. The weapon motors from a hatchback car. At 20 miles an hour, it's the fastest in the heat.
I'm Eric Hodgins, the team captain.
Neil Hodgins. And I'm Martin Beckett, the driver.
We've got everything mounted on a central axle here, and this is a wheel with everything inside.
Daisy Chopper. Dad, Eric Hodgkins, is a systems technician. Griffin with the Steeples brothers.
3.
Ben, currently studying for a degree.
1. Activate.
Isn't Daisy Chopper a strange-looking thing? Look at that great weapon spinning away. I don't know about you, but I had no understanding whatsoever when they tried to describe how it worked. Looks like some great thing from the Industrial Revolution, from a sewing mill or something. Anyway, Griffin moves away to come in on the attack again. Its boast, it can hoist any house robot. Yeah, right. Try telling Killalot that. This is a curious battle here now. Griffin, much the lower, of course. A ground clearance of only 15 millimetres. The great tyres of Daisy Chopper give it weight and traction, but flicked up and over. Defence mechanism, a Shremek, self-righting. But what power is in that bizarre circular saw-come-hammer? Oh, now, look at the tyre! Has one of the tyres there been lifted away from its wheelbase? Slightly, I think. Not a great deal of damage. I wonder how it's affected mobility. Griffin moving swiftly across the arena floor, but in towards a CPZ, occupied by Bash, the corner patrol zone, with its pincer there. Dangerous manoeuvre for Griffin. Oliver Steeples at the controls. Wants to work in computer special effects. He loves his football. He loves his paintball games. And no splash of colour on Griffin. And no great movement there either. What's happened here? Have the two electric motors gone on Griffin? It's moving very slowly. And very pensively. Daisy Chopper just to the left there. The wheels spinning, but not a great deal of movement. Oh, and Griffin's gone into the CPZ now. Away from Bash, I should think. I don't think Bash can get the pincers to work because Griffin is so low. The arena wall. Ha! Now there's the boost! Come to life. That's great stuff. Well done, Oliver. Lifting up Bash, the house robot. He'll be annoyed. Dead Metal is his roommate here. Down in the Robot Wars changing rooms. Will not be pleased either, and coming in for revenge now with the circular blade and the great pincers. Trying to chop off that lifting arm of Griffin. Not making a great inroad into it. Well, this one will go to the judges, I'm sure, and it's going to be very, very close. Damage sustained late on by Griffin as time runs out. Thing is, that damage, you know, was caused by the house robots and not by Daisy Chopper. That could be as decisive as the fact that Daisy Chopper seemed immobilised to me at the end. We'll wait and see, though.
I wouldn't like to call that one, but the judges have given it to Griffin.
You're appealing, are you?
Oh, yeah.
Are you really appealing?
Animated with its 6mm thick polycarbonate face panel, which lights up. It has two 4-pole DC motors and a formidable-looking lifting arm with an axe or claw.
We are the Addams family. I'm Nick, this is Jake and Isabel, and this is the Addams family Thing, robot's called Thing. It's basically an attacking scoop-shaped robot for attacking from this side. But on the back there's a steel spike which is raised up and down on an arm for penetrating and tipping over robots.
From Surrey, prize fighter.
With its front uppercut and rear straight jab, this brawler does pack a mean punch, but at 71.2 kilos, it's the lightest in the heat. Zero turning circle, yes, floats like a butterfly.
Hello, I'm the team captain. My name is Roy. This is my brother Eddie and our colleague Philip. And this is our robot, Prize Fighter. The robot's characteristics are that it has a variable ride height powered by pneumatics, so that the front end is normally about 3 inches off the ground when we're driving, but we can then drop the front end to go into battle. And this front flipper, which is the boxer's left hook, will come up pneumatically, and if we're in the right position under a robot, it will then turn that robot upside down, hopefully. We have also got the characteristic that we can turn ourselves back onto our wheels if we're turned upside down. If the robot is rolled over, it will land automatically onto this front face, and by activating again the front flipper, followed by the boxing glove, which protrudes about 7 inches, the robot will gently roll back over onto its wheels, and hopefully we can then proceed with the battle.
God, enough talk, enough hype. There's Thing 2. with Nick Adams, who's a mean electric guitar player, they tell us. And there's prize fighter.
3.
Roy and Eddie Alcott.
2,
Phil Chaplin.
1. Activate.
Will prize fighter have the punch? Ding ding! Round 1. Nudging underneath thing 2. Well, thing 2 needs the speed of cousin It across the floor. Creeping in his cookie. He's wacky and he's wild. Thing 2 on the attack. Prize fighter 2 up and over. There's the Sreemec, the self-righting mechanism, the flipper, the lifting arm, which rights itself. So important in this series of Robot Wars, and the competitors learning from each other. Very important. Up and over again goes prize fighter. Should get away from there, or is it just impaled on the arena wall? No. Can it get itself out though? I'm not too sure. Driving in on the attack is thing 2. Diddle-diddle. In on the attack and into the CPZ. And in comes Bash. Yep, up and over. Well, almost. So is the flipper now working for prize fighter? Because no, they can't get themselves up and over. And the boxing glove is caught on the arena wall. And now we'll have burnt leather, I should think. On prize fighter's glove, they're stuck on the wall. Thing 2 did all the aggression. And if it was a boxing match, it would be stopped right now, let's be honest. Thing 2, the more aggressive, buzzy, happy-looking robot with the spike. Looks great, doesn't it? Thing 2. Well, I don't know what it's doing going on the flame bit, but prize fighter taking damage now from Shunt. Righted, but look, there's no strength left in that boxer's legs. In the red corner! And staying there, prize fighter, I should think. About to be counted out.
Cease.
Of Robot Wars.
Well, prize fighter goes down in the first round. Thing is through to our second.
Oh.
Thing 2 through to the second round. This is how they line up then. Out of the hat. Drawn with all talk. Thing 2. Griffin against Cerberus. But they're bumped and bruised, battered if not beaten. They need some tender loving care down in the pits.
It's not looking too good for the survivors. So whilst I take them some flowers, grapes, and a gallon of oil and a Lucozade bottle, let's play pinball. Let the trials begin.
The arena littered with traps and targets. This is how the points are scored. 5 points for each barrel knocked down. 20 points for up and over the ramp. 50 points for this target coming up, but Bash defends it. 10 points for the multi-ball release in the corner. 5 points for each ball in a pocket. Another 75-point target, dead metal patrolling. Into the corner and open the doors will get you 25 points. A 50-point target in the distance. The big sphere into a pit would get you 25 points, and each barrel knocked down, another 5. First is best so far. The power of Dominator setting the pace, accurate too. Crusader got lost somewhere in the deserts of the arena. Eye of Newt was too slow in scoring. Six Pack showed its muscle. A brave little battler and scored well. Next up, Kilohertz. Knocked out of the main event earlier in this heat, started well in pinball, but I'm afraid was then shunted and never got out of trouble. It was a rocky, rough old ride for Rox too. And then Oblivion was sent there by the house robots, but left Killalot hot under the collar. And burning bright as a beacon at the top of the leaderboard, Dominator only 6-pack close. So we come to Inquisitor Mark II. A lifting arm capable of hoisting 300 kilograms 2 feet in the air. 4 electric motors involved here.
Roboteers.
They're the team. By. Keith and Michael Millard.
3, 2, 1.
Heavyweight of a robot with the lifting arm zebra striped. But a tentative little nudge and not even a barrel. Knocked down. Well, that's a terrible start. Every robot in pinball has managed to knock barrels down. About 10, maybe 15 points scored, but now look, Killalot's in, pushing Inquisitor back into the corner of the arena, pinning it in there. Killalot knocks barrels down, they won't count. Inquisitor comes up and over the ramp. Now this will be point scored. Killalot nudging it away. He's got to get up and over that ramp very quickly. On the spikes, this is a terrible run. Well, they've got a special little activating wheel which can raise the bodywork clear of the ground and the arena spikes. But not much power, it would seem. Top speed 6 miles an hour. 50 points scored, though, for the target. That's better. That'll count. Now which way for Inquisitor? Oh, not back at the target. You can't score the same target twice. And look at the house robots there. Killalot has the freedom of the whole arena in pinball. They're trying to get the multi-ball release away. As soon as they touch that release, you'll see the balls come cascading out, just like that. So, more points on the board, another 10 for the multi-ball release. But Killalot pins in again. Time is ticking away. Matilda. Oh, this looks like fun. In underneath Matilda after the cease was called. Is that a pleasant experience? Well, I'm not too sure. Slow and steady scoring, and I make it 70 points notched up by the Inquisitor team. Middle of the road sort of a run for them. Trouble is, they didn't get going at the start, and they know how costly that mistake has now been. Still to come, Razor and Mortis later on in the series in pinball, but it's Dominator still at the top with 160 points.
There'll be more pinball next time if you're very, very good.
OK, Thing team, Isabel.
Good heat. Semi-final this. Thing 2 spinning. All torque with the power. We saw that very early on when it pushed Crippler into the pit, and now shoving Thing 2 across the arena floor. It's the quicker of the two robots. It's the heavier of the two robots. All torque. I would say Thing 2, because of its shape and the prodding ram at the back, has the more potent weaponry. That's that lifting arm too, Thing 2. Now spinning away to come in on the bulldozer front of All Torque. Trying to get itself in a position here, All Torque to come in and flip Thing 2 up. Against the arena wall, back again. Lurid livery of Thing 2, splendid. There's the lifting arm with the spike. Bashing against the bulldozer front of All Torque with those specialist tyres, custom-made for extra traction. Controlled by 4 QD speed controllers. All Torque get up to around about 20 miles an hour. Now pushed to one side again. Thing 2 spinning away. Lovely, lovely LED lights. Illuminating the eyes of what came off there. I think it was the claw, the Thing's claw, with the ball, or the ball cock, as Philippa thought it was earlier on, has gone flying on the arena floor. Don't forget, a lot of these robots in Robot Wars gleaned from scrap yards and household items. Oh, splendid battle this now. Bumping and barging going on. Ramming and shunting. Up and over goes All Torque again, bashing down to the arena floor. Good aggression from both bots here. Bravery. Good driving control as well on the attack now, Thing 2. Wheels spinning, pushing back All Torque with that extra traction. This is a great heave-ho, heave-ho. Thing 2 spins to come in again on the attack. Really evenly matched, these two robots. All Torque slightly the heavier. But a good old contest. Again, Thing 2 on the attack, backs away. To rev up, crashing forward, they miss each other. Bashing against the arena wall. Slammed together there like some great old medieval joust, but missed. Joust in fog. The fog and smoke created by the house robots. They turn again to come in on with a bash there on the front of Shunt. We can see the camera as Thing 2, the aggressor, pushes All Torque into Shunt. A lick of flame. A bash. A crash. Metal crinkled and buckled and bent. The dream's still alive. But for how much longer? Shunt slamming in with the axe. I don't think All Torque can get out of there now. And I think they've gone. They're immobilised, all talk. And now the victims are the house robots only.
Well, Thing may have lost his balls, but all talk's all quiet now. Thing is through to the next round. Hey, let's hear for Thing.
Now it starts to get...
Yeah, I've seen his reply, all talk. He remembers you. Thing 2 through. Griffin and Cerberus next up.
Griffin team, that's a very beautiful robot that you're up against. In fact, I think...
Which is beauty and which is the beast in the cherry pickers? We've yet to decide. But there is Griffin with Oliver and Ben Steeples, the brothers. There is Cerberus with Vasily, Theo, and young Alex.
2, 1, activate.
London against Berkshire. Cerberus, the London team, glossy, shiny. Don't forget, has that steel head ram to push Griffin into the pit straight away. In the end, turned tail did Cerberus and gave it a final little nudge on the attack with the steel claws right at the start. That was when the damage was caused. Griffin couldn't get away. And then the final shove came in with a steel clubbing tail. And down went Griffin into the pit.
They're through to our heat final.
Let's through. And of course, we'll meet Thing 2 in the Heat N final.
Well, 2 robots left quaking in the trenches, about to go over the top for a place in our series semi-final.
Well, the stories are flying backwards and forwards. Sorry, my darling.
Cerberus met Kilohertz. Kilohertz on the attack, causing damage, puncturing the silken smooth exterior of Cerberus, but then, unbelievably, driving itself into the pit and out. Next up for Cerberus was Griffin. A push, a grip of the claws, a shove, and the Griffin went into the pit too. For Thing 2, it was seconds out, and Lee with a right-left combination against the prize fighter on the ropes, and stopped before the final knockout blow. Then it was all talk, who talked a good battle, but in the end were punctured by shunt. The motor died, they were immobilized, and Thing 2 was a worthy winner.
Roboteers, stand by.
A good final. Thing 2. Nick, Isabel and Jake Adams. And Cerberus from Greek mythology with Vasa, Theo and Alex.
Activate.
Thing 2. The niftier, speedier looking robot. Great design here. You really have to hold your hat off to them and applaud the work that's gone into the design of the robots in this series. And Thing 2 shoving the dog from Hades towards the flaming pit from hell. Both of them turning, trying to psych each other out. Cerberus leading with the steel ramming head. Don't forget it had the circular shore taken away. It was a hardened blade which can shatter against the rules, but they battled bravely on to reach the heat final. Ooh, a stutter there for Thing 2. And again, trying to get the sort of front battering ram type scoop in underneath Cerberus. A bit of a lurch from the Addams family, Thing 2. And a way to attack Cerberus again. A push back onto the flame pit. A hop and a jump from Thing 2 into the CPZ. And Matilda's in there with the tusks and the glaring eyes and the temperament problem. She goes and sees a shrink twice a week and back into the arena for battle. One day Matilda will get better. One day. Cerberus spins to come on the attack again against Thing 2. What's happened here? To Cerberus and the steel clubbing tail. The linkage is gone. It's come away. It's flipped up and over. A decisive attack from Thing 2 in the heat final. Marvellous driving by Nick Adams and Isabel. Cerberus up and over And the dog from Hades is showing its underbelly, and it wants a little bit of a tickle. And it wants respite and relief because Cerberus has been dogged to death by Thing 2. Pushing up and over after the steel clubbing tail seemed to have been ripped away. And Thing 2, marvellous competitors, great fun, and worthy winners of this Robot Wars heat.
Well, we have a clear winner there. Through to the series semi-finals goes Thing. Well, guys, you've escaped the jaws of hell again.
Yeah, we're still on the loose.
You're through to the series semi-finals.
Yeah.
Did you think you'd get this far?
Well, kind of, but...
Kind of.
What do you do? What are you doing with that?
Oh, well, normally I do weapons.
Speak up.
But I was doing the lights this time.
You were doing the lights this time, but you normally do weapons. So why have you changed the lights?
Oh, because I wanted to go on the weapon.
Oh, were you on the weapons, were you? Hey, so, what, there's a bit of argy-bargy in your own team, is there?
Yeah, they've even got a contract of who can do what.
How far do you think you can go in this competition?
Well, a bit further now, that's for sure. When we first came on, they thought we were just a pretty face.
Yeah.
But now they're finding us more than just skin deep there.
Well, good luck. I hope you go as far as you can in the competition. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for Thing. Well, when my gran's watching telly, she normally snores, but she's shouting bash them senseless on Robot Wars. Good night.
Castles of Knights of the Round Table. His role model, John Steed, the old character from the Avengers series. And on the attack again, the Steel Avenger. And was that a flak flying on top of Shumi 2? No great damage sustained. Nudging away Shumi 2. It's just the heavier of the two robots. Oh! The old arena spike came out, nearly caught it out, so did the pin, and it's going in, it's going in, it's gone in! Oh, Shumi 2, beaten by the Steel Avenger team. And disappointment for John Pocock and John Turnbull there.
With Shumi 2 in the pit.
Horrible time, aren't you?
You're having a great time.
Come on, tell me what's happened. Tell me, first of all, the new name and why.
Theator. It's a new robot. We still have Nemesis, and this is a brand new robot. Completely different chassis, different weapon system, much more powerful weapon systems. We're hoping to be able to throw robots.
But the reason why you're not going, why you're saying it's a much more powerful weapon system, it's all fantastic. It's because it's kind of not fantastic at the moment, is it? It's all in bits.
Yeah, well, when Customs saw this, they weren't very impressed.
When you were on your way over,
Yeah.
they saw all the bits.
Yeah.
And they what? They didn't believe it was for Robot Wars?
Well, they didn't really know, and they just...
They had to check it out. So they've taken your robot to bits. Completely. How many months of work to put it together?
Well, we've been at it all day.
And how many months of work before? I mean, now you're trying to do it in one day.
Yeah, well, it was 4 months.
I just feel for you so much. Look, they've got little bits of diagrams all over the place with their little old notebooks. There's just things that they had jotted down. Oh, and they've been sweating all day, and you're miserable, aren't you?
I'm tired.
Miserable and tired. Oh, it will be worth it, I promise, and we really appreciate it. Because we can have more barbecued sausages. Remember the fun we had last time? With the barbecue and the singeing. We can go through all that again.
A big kebab again.
Yeah, it'll be worth it. Come on.
Beers.
We'll bring you a cup of coffee in a minute. You keep working.
Thank you. See you later.
Oh, bless. Oh.
From Hampshire, Terminal Ferocity.
Let's get funny. With the honey, the sticky stuff applied to the drive rollers to maximise grip on the rubber-coated conveyor belt tracks. Now you know. The pneumatic front blade is gas-powered, the chainsaw petrol-driven.
My name is John Ryland, and this is Fiona Ryland, my wife and teammate, and this is our robot, Terminal Ferocity. The thing which makes Terminal Ferocity unique, apart from its tank shape, is the chainsaw, which is mounted in a swivel turret. On full joystick control, we'll go left and right up.
It was tough. The team was exuberant and keen, and they will be this time again with Facet back in Robot Wars.
I'm Mike Rickard.
They built the tracks for Plunderbird, their team, and here's Facet. Mike Rickard has had 3 robots now in Robot Wars. That giant flipper, I think, is going to be key. And it's Facet starting the smoother away from the right-hand side. Terminal Ferocity spins, trying to get the chainsaw into play. There is the flipper straight away! And up and over, Terminal Ferocity. Facet using that huge pneumatic lifting ramp. And over goes Terminal Ferocity. Well, I wonder if there's any life left now for John and Fiona Ryland and their Ferocity machine. Immediately, that improved weaponry on Facet, so vital and so impressive. I just wonder, actually, if it goes later on in the competition, whether or not the lifting ramp on Facet yawns too wide and a house robot could get in as they take on a house robot. Matilda is turned topsy-turvy by Mike Rickard. Loves his motor racing, wants to be a racing driver. Matilda helped out there, though. Shunt righting his old house robot pal. And in the grip of dead metal, Terminal Ferocity has a terminal end, I should think, in Robot Wars. Facet again, this time taking on Bash, trying to flick Bash up and over. The weight of the house robot just keeping him on the arena floor. In under the belly, the stainless steel body of Terminal Ferocity. The house robot's cutting and clipping and taking on Facet as well, causing damage later on, but Facet the winner. Poor old Terminal Ferocity. Upset right at the start.
A bit cocky for his own good there, and Matilda is not happy. But Facet, they go through.
With a Swedish Air Force rescue saw and a 4-pound sledgehammer. It destroyed the pickup family barbecue in practice. Now the house robots want to haul you over the coals.
We're the cloud of crashed airplanes. And at the back, it's a hammer-tailed shark. It's got a sledgehammer that swings round and really crashes into the opposition.
From Durham, Firestorm.
2 old school friends from the Groundhog team in the last series return with 1 motor from a lawnmower, another from a cordless drill, a flipping Shremek arm, hardened aluminium shell, and Firestorm is smoking.
I'm Grimborn. And I'm Alex Mudgy. And this is our robot Firestorm. It's a wedge-shaped robot, runs at 36 volts, and it's got on go-kart tyres. It's got 3 main weapons. It's got these belts on the front, where you're going to need someone, the belt to pull them up onto the arm, and the arm will push them over. The arm will also self-right us, so if we get tipped over, we can flip ourselves back over. We've also got this spike at the back.
Roboteers, stand by.
There's Crasher Nasher, the pickup team. Little Jack's a Manchester United fan, so's his cousin Tom Duggan, and Firestorm, Graham Bone and Alex Mordew.
Activate.
The controls of Firestorm, a wedge-shaped robot slamming into Crasher Nasher, turning the shark up and over. Hardly a minnow, Firestorm, but you wouldn't expect this sort of damage against a shark. Against the arena wall, a great cloud of smoke from somewhere. Look at this, power and pace, bang! The shark is bitten and bitten badly. Crusher, Nasher, nashed up, I should think. Bashed up, certainly. And there's nothing left in that. In comes Bash, hauling the shark away to the depths of Robot Wars oblivion. The camera on dead metal, the saw of dead metal. The punishing, squeeze ability of the house robots on Crasher Nasher. Firestorm Good driving by Alex Mordew. Fine power. There again, slicing through the little wheel of the Crasher Nasher team. Dead metal.
Cease.
Off comes the wheel. Well, the most lethal thing they normally do is play badminton. They're more dangerous here. The poor kids. Oh, the young lads are out.
Looks like fish is off the menu. Firestorm, turn up the heat.
That is a crumpled mess.
Goes into a hole so that I can just go home.
Miserable and tired after the customs experience, but hugely popular. Back again, fur brain, polka dotting, the hydraulic lifting arm, their main weapon. It's bound to catch fire. We love it. And look out for the fur. Everyone wants a piece of it. As they did in the last series, when Nemesis didn't last too long. You had the kebab ready, but instead of being charbroiled, it was pitted. Greatly popular team, though. Super fun.
I'm Joe Gavin. Kieran Bourne.
I'm Peter Evans, and this is Deitor, son of Nemesis. The weapon that we're going to be using, hydraulically cocked in these large car springs. Comes all the way down, so it's flush with this bar here, and then we can fire it and hopefully throw all the rest of the robots over.
From Derbyshire, Sting 2.
The whip action gives the sting in the tail, modified over 3 months from the last series, more powerful. Ramming spikes, carbide tips, they look mean. Will Sting police this heat, or will they be jailed once again by the house robots like last time around? This is what happened to Sting. Withstanding pressure quite neatly from Dead Metal and Co. But the Sentinel with the little shunt, and down went Sting into the pit, down and out.
Hi, I'm Dave Barker, captain of the One Law Associates. Ian Pritchard, Pete Alsop, the rest of the team. This is the most important member of the team, Sting 2. She's got a bigger tail, a more powerful weapon, completely different motor setup, and new body style. But claims we have no fear.
Robot ears, stand by.
Deitor, Captain Peter Redmond wants to be a shepherd. Well, according to team members Zulu, in other words, Karen Byrne, and Sting 2, Captain Dave Barker's been a hang gliding pilot for around about 15 years now. He's on the right. With Pete Alsop driving Sting 2 into the middle of the arena against Deitor. Was a little bit of fur already ripped away. It was. The smile's a little bit lopsided, isn't it? There's the wiggly waggly tail on the back of Sting 2. Looks like a scorpion. It's got a modified body. They say it's got a more organic look about the assembly. This year, Sting 2, the backbone and rib effect, the scorpion tail, the lifting arm from Deitor. I want to see it over the flame pit. I want to see that fur on fire again. I dream about that between Robot Wars series, I know. Rather strange and sad at the same time, but here's Deitor, just nudging with Sting 2, trying to flick Deitor away. It's a little bit nervy and tentative. See the spikes on front of Sting 2, they're an addition this season. A new Robot Wars backup. As Deitor pushes Sting 2 back against the arena wall, or tries to, at the control. Peter Redmond built a June buggy in his time, a robot vacuum cleaner as well. He's not trying to suck, he's trying to push Sting 2 towards the pit. And down goes the Scorpion. That's a very, very popular victory in the arena. Matilda loves it. Oh, Pete Alsop, the driver, doesn't, for Sting 2. Bashed up at customs, but here they are.
Congratulations to the boys from ERA. They go through.
Couldn't believe it actually worked.
Through with Firestorm, Facet and the Steel Avenger from round 1. Let's see what the round 2 draw is. Deitor against the Steel Avenger, Firestorm against Facet. Time for the Pinball Challenge and an old favourite of Robot Wars, Craig.
Experts say that people play arcade games as a means of escape. And if you meet the house robots playing our Pinball Warrior tournament, escape is exactly what you'll need. Let the trials begin.
The old friend is Razor. Next up to try and score points like this. 5 for each of the barrels, 20 points for the race up and over the ramp. 50 points to hit the target guarded by Bash there. 10 points for the multi-ball release in the corner, 5 points for each ball in the pit. Another 75 points for that target, but dead metal's around the corner. 25 points if you can open up the car door, but Kilolot's behind. 50 points for that target. 25 points if you can sink the sphere, and 5 points for each of the barrels up there. So far, we've had 8 competitors in the Pinball Warrior Challenge. Dominator's doing just that, 160 points, no real challenges, only 2 to go, but Razor and Mortis are the favourites for this, I can tell you. Just look at the Razor team, brilliant. Simon Scott on the right, Vincent Blood in the middle, Ian Lewis on the left-hand side. We all know Razor, weighing in at 79.2 kilos. And they're that great crushing arm. And their main tactic, they tell us, to have fun.
Okay, let's make it fun.
1. Activate.
Brilliant. Got into the spirit of things, smashing, crashing into the barrels. Early points, at least 25, 30 picked up there, spinning away. In comes Kilolot now. Kilolot has the freedom of the arena here. Bash, don't forget, is guarding a target, a 50-point target. Razor bumps Bash, bounces off. Maybe wiser to get 20 points by going up the ramp. Very few have tried that. Trying to get round the back of Bash. 50 points scored there by Razor. This is a good run early on, you know. Here's Simon Scott at the control. His hero's the late actor and comedian John Candy. You'll remember him. Now to try and score 75 points. And this is an interesting tactic. We haven't seen this before. Missing out the multi-ball challenge completely and going over to another target to get easy points scored. Can't go back to that target. Now the multi-ball release. That's another 10 then. This is a very good run. And Dominator, at long last, could be challenged here. Intelligent driving. The sphere's in the pit. I didn't see that earlier on. The barrel's knocked down as well. This is a splendid run by Razor. Barrel into the pit. That's a nice touch. You won't get anything for the bricks, except consternation from the people who put the arena together again. Now the car door swings. They've virtually completed the whole arena here. What a marvellous run by Razor. That's splendid. They loved it. So did the crowd. Even the dead metal fans did, I should think. Oh, dear. Old Egghead. Driving magnificently. New leaders, Razor, 210 points. That's phenomenal in the Pinball Challenge. Wonderful.
So, a new highest pinball score's been set, but will it remain unchallenged? Watch this space. In the meantime, it's back to the wars.
This is how they line up then. Diortor against the Steel Avenger and Firestorm against Facet. Philippa, the Steel Avenger team are in a no-win situation with you at the moment.
Any tactics? I mean, you're up against a real crowd puller there. How do you feel?
I want to give anyone a little scratch. Kieran Byrne there on the left-hand side. Let me tell you, not only did he have to put his own robot together very late on, he's also been helping out all the other robots in the pits welding when they've had problems.
Roboteers, stand by.
Diortor, great sportsmanship. They won the Sportsmanship Award last time around, and the Steel Avenger. John Willoughby at the controls.
Activate.
Of Arthurian legend, the Steel Avenger, perhaps, with the feather duster on the back. And Diortor, a great roar goes up every time they do anything. A little bit of fur flies off. Oh, the Steel Avenger slamming into dead metal, working its way away from danger, but dead metal has a long memory. Diortor nearly driving into the house robots. Oh, great slam, bam, from the... I think this time they're using the ice blade, aren't they, at the front? Yes, they are. The Steel Avenger to cut into, cleave Diortor's hopes. Bashing on the back of the Steel Avenger, turning to get away. Oh, and off comes something from Diortor again. There's a boggle eye. So now they just can stare blankly from the one eye. Cyclops now from the Republic of Ireland in the shape of Diortor. Son of Nemesis, the Steel Avenger bashes against the arena wall. Diortor getting in and underneath and flipping the Steel Avenger up and over, and that was their only viable tactic, and it's paid off. What a run here for Diortor. They're on fire. I'd pay my admission fee just to see this! Look at this! They're on fire! A flame of burning! Diotor! They've got to rebuild it all over again! At least look at the flag on top. At least that's not smouldering. Diotor have got to rebuild it once again, all over again.
Well, there's no doubt about that. The winner is Diotor, son of Nemesis. Come here, lads. Well. Cheers. I was visiting my in-laws in Galway. And imagine, I'd turn on the radio, the Jerry Ryan show on RTE it was, and there's a national competition going on to name your robot. What happened there then?
Yeah, we wanted to get a good name that hardly anybody could pronounce.
Especially you. Especially you.
Especially you. So you've got through twice, you never win. You've lost both wars, you got knocked out first time. And now you're through to round 3. How do you feel, lads?
It's great.
Oh, yeah, I think we're
Nemesis Baby is a much better robot.
It's just because you changed the name.
It's a different robot, whole different robot.
Well, all I can say is Bula Buscadina, Bukali, Oseren, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you do me that favour? Vegetarian sausage.
Got a bit
a
damaged.
la bash.
Broccoli sausage.
Lovely. You should taste it. Yeah.
Get out
Go
of
on.
it.
God, it's lovely. Vegetarian. Go on, it's lovely.
I'm not eating. No, I'm not eating.
Go on, it's lovely.
My ma said never take food off strangers.
Your robot cooked it.
I wouldn't eat that thing it cooked. You should see what we've done with it.
Oh, it's lovely. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
You've got through really, really well. And it was a stunning battle for all of us to see, so thank you very much.
Someone's obviously put a jinx on us to make us get through, you know?
I know. It's bringing him, isn't it? He's your lucky mascot.
Lucky Irishman.
I don't know who did that.
Look at that mangulation.
Diotor went through to meet either Firestorm or Facet.
Firestorm, you're about to go into battle. Tell me your weak points and your...
Bone and Alex Mordew. And there's the Facet boys, Mike Rickard, Mike Smith and Charles Lavery. Rickard loves his white water rafting.
Stand by.
The currents are strong out there on the arena floor. Facet.
3.
Near the Firestorm.
2.
Hopes of Graham and Alex. The vivid yellow and red colours. The speed, though, of Facet is frightening. And also that front lifting hydraulic ramp in underneath Firestorm. Yawning mouth opens. That, I think, could be its Achilles heel as well as a yawning mouth. There's Firestorm in underneath Facet there. 2 very speedy robots. But Facet up to 48 miles an hour. We simply have never seen anything as quick as this before. And there the great lifting ramp, but Firestorm has a streamer. It can self-right itself, as well as flip. Does so. Turns to come in again. It's a real feature of this series of Robot Wars. All credit to Rex Garrard, who invented it in the last series, the streamer, the self-righting mechanism. Up and over Firestorm, ready to do battle again. Prodding against Facet. 2 similar wedge shapes again. How many robots have we seen come through the pits with wedge shapes this series? The levering arm of Firestorm, less powerful than that of Facet, it has to be said, but pushing up against the arena wall. Now look at this. They're on their side and too close to the arena wall, but not close enough to get the great levering ramp to self-right themselves. And I think Facet have been done here by Firestorm, and it's a question now of whether the House Robots will do Firestorm. And in comes Kill-A-Lot. Oh, and there's the damage I thought might happen. The great yawning mouth of Facet, too wide. And in comes Kill-A-Lot with that penetrating lance. He's on fire.
Cease.
And Facet beaten.
Well, what a fight that was. The winner's obviously Firestorm team.
It looked really good at the start, didn't it?
Firestorm beating Facet, going through to face Diotor in the Heat-O final.
Our 2 survivors are now preparing for battle in the 3rd and final round.
Come on, quick, you're just about to go in for battle. Go on.
Final. Crasher, Nasher, smashed up against the arena wall. Shark-shaped, but dragged to the depths of Oblivion. An easy victory for Firestorm. This was the surprise against Facet. First of all, turned up and over, but using its self-righting mechanism to great effect, and then turning that mechanism into a weapon to get in and underneath Facet. Overturning, I think, the favourite for that semi-final. And this, of course, Diotor, what a story this has been. Nudging Sting 2 into the pits. They put this robot together inside 24 hours, and the major surprise of the heat so far, beating the Steel Avenger. Before, as custom befits, catching fire.
Roboteers, stand by.
Custom. Good word for Diotor today. Their robot pulled apart by the customs. They put it together again. And look, more fur after the fire of the heat semi-finals. There, of course, the Firestorm boys against them.
Activate.
And the Dubliners done well to repair Diotor. It's got the little trophy from the Steel Avenger, the Feather Duster as well. And immediately Firestorm trying to lever Diotor up and over. Where do they get all this polka dot fur from? I know one of the team members, Zulu, Kerem Byrne, they reckon wears red and black fluffy underpants as well. Maybe he's got a secret store. He'll need something, certainly, because Diotor's up and over. The judges look on. They'll be impressed by that sudden attack from Firestorm. And there, the lifting mechanism flicks Diotor up and over. Diotor, of course, has its own hydraulic arm. Now onto the flame pit. The lick of flame. The smile obliterated. The dead metal camera records it all. Once again, the splendid entertainers from Dublin's Fair City are left feeling hot under the collar, and Firestorm about to take on Dead Metal. Dead Metal sparking away there. Metal being burnt. The fur flickers, but not the life force inside Diotor, I'm afraid. Kill-a-lot to finish it off with a coup de grace, perhaps. In goes the lance. In underneath the lifting mechanism of Diotor, enabling Kill-a-lot to lift it, hoist it, and push it towards, well, Bash wants some fur. That's just getting cold out there. Now is the winter of Diotor's discontent, certainly, if it is a wee bit chilly on the arena floor. The Firestorm boys look on.
All right.
And I think we're about to see the mighty arena flipper. Diotor righted. It's not all right. It's all gone wrong for the boys of Dublin. What a story, but Firestorm worthy winners.
No doubt about that one. Firestorm, hot stuff, through to our series semi-finals.
Well done to the Firestorm boys. The fairy story ends for Diotor. The crowd have loved them to the very last minute. In the very first seconds of the heat final, though, that's the damage. Flipped up from the arena floor, bouncing and burning. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
That was pretty magnificent.
Wasn't it? Sequels of Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
So they...
Too late for our robots to kiss and make up now. Let the wars begin!
From Guernsey, Ratus Ratus.
the longest in the heat, even though it has been chopped down to fit in the boot. The chassis from an old desk, its forward-facing spikes and battery-driven flail are dangerous. It'll dent a few hopes, that's for sure.
Hi, I'm Gary. This is Rick. This is our robot, Rattus Rattus. It's called Rattus Rattus, which is the Latin name for the common rat. As you can see, it's quite common. It sustained some injuries previously in other fights when it came from Mesopotamia in the 11th century. It went across Europe in the 14th century, killed 25 million people, and now it's here at Robot Wars.
From Kent, Smidsy.
They describe their weaponry as gnashing jaws, crushing jaws, lift you up and dismember jaws. Cool, they've gone off jaw, this team. They say it took 6 weekends to build and 6 months talking about it.
I'm Mike Reed of Team Ixion. This is Robin, who's our driver, and Andy, and this is our robot Smidsy. We've called it Smidsy because it stands for Sorry Mate, I Didn't See You. We're motorbikers, and if you get knocked off by a car, the first thing the driver says is, Sorry Mate, I didn't see you. We've made Smidsy so it'll be flippable, run either way up, and we've got the jaws so that we can change them. We can go under another robot, over the top of it, depending on which way up we are.
Robot ears, stand by.
Rattus Rattus from the 14th century. What's that all about? Gary Pike and Richard Ozanne, his teammate, and Smidsy there, with the driver, Robin Bennett, in control. When it opens its jaws, Smidsy looks like a giant, great big black and red clothes peg, I think. But it's Rattus Rattus on the attack. No gnawing jaws, but there at the back, the flail. There's Robin Bennett at the controls of Smidsy. Spent 6 months touring Australia by motorbike. They are all big bikers in the team. And how annoying is it when a car driver says to you, a biker, yeah, I didn't see you, mate. Now, it's Rattus Rattus just gnawing away at Smidsy once again, pushing him in towards the CPZ. Don't forget, once you've been pushed into a CPZ, the house robot can grab you. Let's have a look at this moment again. Rattus Rattus up and over Smidsy and bouncing healthily away. Again, the little push. You can see there, the tactic being used is to push towards the CPZ. Kilolot's waiting for anything loose. Rattus Rattus, the more aggressive of the two so far. Onto the arena spike, which has become such a feature of this series. And really, Smidsy doing very little attacking work. It's all Rattus Rattus, and eventually, I'm sure, he's just going to push Smidsy in towards the CPZ. It'll get there in the end. Bouncing around. It's dead metal awaiting. Can't come out of the CPZ to gather a robot unless it's on the fringe. Ah, Smidsy low enough to avoid the pincers of dead metal. Robin Bennett trying to get Smidsy on the attack, perhaps. Needs to. In comes Rattus Rattus with one drive. Poised to come in with another. Slamming. Oh! Rattus Rattus in trouble. Slammed against dead metal pincers, and the body shell almost came flying off. There you see, separated from the main frame, the chassis made from an old desk, and off comes the fur-covered alloy shell. And now, onto the flame pit as well. So, trouble here for Rattus Rattus. What on earth is that underneath the top part of the jaws, if you like? Gary Pike looks bemused. A little twitch from him, and also from the front of the rat. And was he caught in a rat trap there? Well, there's still life in Robin Bennett and his team. A little tug on the beard of Andy Pugh there on the right. Now the circular saw of dead metal slicing into the top of Smidsy. It's going to be quite close, this, in the end, unless Smidsy's pushed towards the pit! Get in! Get in! Pit, 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 pit! Yes! Smidsy's finished. I think Rattus Rattus deserved it in the end.
The rodent rules. Rattus Rattus go through.
What you get from us is adoration, because, you know, even though you're out, what a fantastic...
Trun against Trident.
From North Wales, Timmar.
What work has gone into that spooky-looking fiberglass shell? The motors are from 12-volt wheelchairs. It cost just £200 to build the intrinsic parts.
My name's Mark. I'm the team captain of Timmar. In my team, I've got Ian and Nick. Our main weapon for Tum Trum is its forehead at the moment, because we had to take the weapon off the front. It's made out of fiberglass, and it's developed over a period of time and didn't start off quite like this the first day.
From Leeds, Trident.
2 drive motors and another for the weapon make this tri-drive Trident with an axe body shell of stainless steel. The chassis is a modified stair climber. At 20 miles an hour, it's the fastest in the heat.
Hi, my name's Stephen, and this is Neil and Peter. He's the captain of the team, and this is Trident, our robot. It's got these stair climber wheels and an axe weapon powered by an electric motor.
Robot ears, stand by.
Turn, magnificent. Teacher Mark, Ian and Nick, his pupils. And Trident.
3.
Young Stephen at the controls. And it's the slow progress of Turn against the far nippier Trident. And I'd say at this stage, Trident has the more potent weaponry. Oh, what a shame! That shell is already being splintered. The face, the gargoyles, the twisted masks of terror. And that's just in the Robot Wars pits at lunchtime. It's Trident spinning to come on the attack again. I think one of the big problems with Turn is a lack of mobility at the moment. Can only get up to 5 miles an hour at best. At worst, it seems, to be honest, immobilised at this early stage. They did have a big snowplough on the front. They had to take it off to make the weight for this heat. It seems to lack weaponry and just about everything else. Trident edging around. Oh, what a disappointment this is. So much work has gone in. Look at the great teeth on the back. There's the mask, the horns as well. Snakes are in there, everything's in there. A robot built from hell. Oh dear. Hardly a heavenly performance by Turn. Trident nudging in again. Almost feels sympathetic, I think, to its opponent. A little bit of smoke coming from somewhere. Shunt coming in now on the attack, maybe to finish it off. The camera on the front of Shunt, of course. Oh, the axe on the back of Shunt. Nudging Turn almost up and over. Oh, the fiberglass is on fire as well. That just makes things worse. Now Matilda coming in with the chainsaw on the front of Turn. There goes the axe. Here comes Matilda on the attack. Here. Turn's lost a little essential bit. So, on fire,
Cease.
deaf as a post, and finished, Turn, to be honest.
Beauty, no match for brawn. Trident are victorious.
What happened?
Lost all power. It just wouldn't go.
After that initial...
After the initial
We hit it,
Yeah.
and then it stopped.
For some reason it stopped. We don't know why yet. Until we get the shell off.
And then the flames started licking out from between the ears and the eyes of the creatures that were on the robot.
Well, it was designed for that.
Yeah, art. Art in the arena, that's what we like. Thank you very much for supplying that. Are you happy?
Very happy, yeah. Happy to win, sad to destroy it.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Sunshine is just gorgeous. It was such a pity to destroy it. Yeah.
Any damage that we should know about?
The weapon seems to have stopped working.
Yes, we did wonder if that was the case, because you weren't going for it with the weapon
I know,
at
that's
all.
why I was just swinging the back round and hitting it with that. That's all I could do.
Well, go and fix it then.
In the rubbish, twin, Trident through, Scarab against Victor 2 next up.
From Potter's Bar, Scarab.
Sleek design, it'll beetle around the arena at only 8 miles an hour, though not quick. The jaws are hydraulic, the frame tubular steel, the 24-volt motors come from a wheelchair.
Hi, my name's Martin Eves. I'm captain of Team Scarab. This is my teammate Andy, who'll tell you about Scarab.
Our main weapon is these jaws, and between them we've got about 2.5 tons of pressure, so hopefully we're going to bite some things. And also we've designed it so if it gets flipped by a wedge it can be driven the other way up.
From Surrey, Victor.
Wakey! The main weapon's a Morningstar flail, 2 foot in length. The body shell's made of steel, powered by 2 wheelchair motors. Took 6 months to rebuild from the last series.
Hi, I'm Guy, team captain. Teammates Gareth and Kenneth. This is Victor. He fought in the last wars, still got scars from Matilda. It's the same frame, but with a much improved weapon at the front, which now spins around and also goes forwards and backwards.
This was Victor in the last wars. Damaged by Matilda, we heard. Running the gauntlet and straight into Kill-A-Lot. Guy was at the controls. Showed good manoeuvrability and bravery. And it was a good run, you know.
Roboteers, stand by.
Here, Victor's newest opponent, Scarab, then. With Martin Eves there on the right, and at the control, Andrew Miles. And Victor, too. Once again, Guy Pickett at the controls. He wants to become a famous DJ, he tells us. Now spinning the flail of Victor, too. Immediately on the attack on Scarab. It is a bit of a blur, isn't it, that Morningstar flail, 2 foot in length. It's powered by a motorbike starter motor with the weights on the end to cause damage. Little scene of that. Ooh, something came flying out there. I'm not too sure what it was. Let's have a look. Oh, it's the grill, the mesh. There, protecting the engine compartment of Victor 2. The house robots will have noticed the flail also seemed to be impaired there. Kill-A-Lot just zooming in to see what sort of damage he can cause in the next few minutes, I would suggest. Oh, there's his lance immediately on the attack. But Scarab seems to be in trouble here on the arena pins. Claws are working, but there's no one with their paws on the remote controls. They're out, Scarab, immobilised.
Well, living up to its name, Victor. They go through.
Psycho Killer.
Took 2 months to build the Axis, powered by a wheelchair motor, ready for thrills and suspense. Hitchcock Psycho wasn't as frightening as this. Coming, mother!
Hello, we're Team Psycho Killer. This is Martin, my son, Matthew Carroll, the pilot, and myself, Steve, the captain. This is our robot, Psycho Killer. It's driven by 2 Sinclair C5 motors. Loads of power. We've got this little toothpick, which we're open to drop it down and pincer on the front of the robot. If that fails, we're hoping he'll drive up, spin over, and land in a pit.
From Nuneaton, Dreadnought.
Using many parts from the old version of Dreadnought, this Robot Wars vet returns with a new mechanism and motor for the forklift, a new body shell design. Opponents, your future hangs on the decision of Judge Dredd.
Hello, I'm David.
And I'm Faye.
And this is our robot Dreadnought. We've been in 3 wars, it's our 3rd war. There's 1 or 2 changes we've made to our robot. We've had to build a new body shell after Sir Kill-A-Lot was very rough with it. We've also improved the lift motors by replacing the motor with another wheelchair motor.
Again, you can't heap enough praise on the team for improving their bodywork, doing it all over again after it sustained this sort of damage. Would you really want to rebuild it all over again? The wooden base also last time was a bit of a problem.
Roboteers, stand by.
There is Psycho Killer then, with Stephen Burns, Matthew Carroll at the controls, and young Martin, and Dreadnought,
3, 2,
David, and
1.
Faye Volts.
Activate.
David likes his walking and swimming and into more than a front crawl as Dreadnought attacks from the left. Psycho Killer just eases away. Classic wedge shape, as Philippa said earlier on. I love the little furry hand on the pickaxe. Where do they dream these things up from? What strange lives our roboteers have. I wonder if it was his idea there in the middle, Stephen Burns. Perhaps young Martin. He wants to be a Lego designer when he grows up. Didn't we all? Now, it's Psycho Killer away from the flame pit. Ooh, Kill-A-Lot's over there. What are they doing? Driving straight towards Kill-A-Lot in the gleaming eyes. And the pincer, well, there goes your weapon. Straight away. Ah, suicide. Matthew Carroll wants to be a fighter pilot. God help us if he does. Defending the realm with driving like that in the skies. Are you sure? They've got no weapon now. It's just... Look at it. What a sorry-looking thing sticking out. Looks like an earbud. Clean your ears out, let alone take Dreadnought on. Faye likes it. David Voles at the controls. A little push of Psycho Killer. I think the heart has gone out of the Psycho Killer team. And in comes Shunt, slam. A little lift of the snow plough at the front of Shunt. Look at the damage on the side of Psycho Killer as well. A couple of dents, a couple of slices, and oh, look at that. In comes Dreadnought again, this time trying to push up and under. Psycho Killer now driving curiously towards Dead Metal. It's been a nightmare for them out there. Psycho Babel, let alone Psycho Killer. The Dreadnought team know they've got victory between their little pincer ram spiky things at the front. In comes Killalot, in comes Shunt, down comes the axe blade, pinned in there to the top slot of Psycho Killer. Oh, look at those slices. I don't think we've seen marks like that for a while. Under the base now of Psycho Killer, more damage. Long ago immobilised, it would seem to me. Perforated and punctured. Pinned. Pummeled. Punished. Psycho Killer. Into the CPZ. The House Robots finishing him off.
Dreadnought victorious and through to our second round.
This was classic.
We have got a lovely souvenir.
Chopped straight through it, didn't he?
It might come in handy.
Yeah. Well, Ken, it's your own fault you're missing it. There you are lying in Florida in the sun by the pool and you're missing all this excitement because your team are through.
We've done it.
You've done it again.
Yes.
And unscathed, relatively.
Actually unscathed. Hardly scratched. One or two little marks.
One or two little marks and that's it.
We'll survive.
Okay, so you can go and put your feet up for a while then until the next round.
Through they go, Dreadnought, with Victor 2, Trident, and Ratus Ratus. In the second round, it'll be Ratus Ratus against Dreadnought, Victor 2 against Trident. And now for the climax of the pinball.
It's our last visit to the arcade for some pinball wizardry. Will our final entry storm the leaderboard or sink into oblivion? Hey, let the trials begin.
The very last run of the pinball. Let's see how we've got on so far. Dominator setting the early pace. This was a good run. Consistent and accurate, 160 points scored. Crusader started well. Went into the pit. Daft as a brush. Eye of Newt didn't score quickly enough. Got torched by the House Robots. Six Pack trundled through bravely, we thought. Not a bad run at all. Now the highlight for Kilohertz was the multi-ball release. The low point of the Kilohertz run being bashed, smashed and crashed by the House Robots. Rocks 2 wasn't great. Oblivion 2, not much better. Heading for Oblivion in the Robot Wars history books. Inquisitor didn't ask too many questions. We didn't find answers there. But then a new leader emerged. The last heat saw Razor eclipse Dominator, a close shave, a Sweeney Todd chop at the other competitors, and indeed, Razor still having time for a nip at the House Robots. 210 points scored, magnificent. 50 clear of Dominator. There you can see the bravery of Six Pack. But Mortis can kill off even Razor if it runs true to pedigree, with that axe and lifting arm, and quite heavy too, to dodge the House Robots. The Mortis team of Rob Knight, Arthur Chilcott and Benjamin Gordon. Rob, Arthur, veterans of Robot Wars. Arthur in the middle. Rob Knight at the controls.
Roboteers, stand by.
Most sophisticated controls we've seen in Robot Wars, really.
Activate.
Mortis, really hungry to get out on the attack. And taking those barrels first. Well, this is an unusual route, an unusual tactic, and the sphere goes down too. Good point scored early on. Mortis needs to get out beyond the barrels, changing direction to try and dodge Killalot, veering away from the barrels. Needs to get up and over that ramp, I would think. No, deciding to go for the multi-ball release instead, using the axe just for a final blow. No targets hit. 50 points for each target. On the side wall, 75 points for the target down the bottom of the arena. More barrels here. Now up and over the ramp. This is a very, very unusual route. I don't think that'll count. They didn't complete the ramp. Taking on Killalot, that won't score you anything. Get you in trouble, I should think. Killalot has the freedom here of the whole arena. But as we speak, Razor's still looking good here, I think. Mortis, time is ticking down on you to close on that huge 210 points scored by Razor. Would he go up and over the ramp again? They've lost their way here, Mortis, after that bright opening through the car door. More points to be scored, but if they back too far in, they nearly went into the pit. They've got themselves between a rock and a hard place here. Mortis trying to get traction with the great tank tracks. Now edging towards the door. But Rob's got himself into a real pickle here. There's a brick underneath Mortis as well. Came to an end prematurely, really. Good run from them, but not good enough. They enjoyed it. Opening gambit saw them take on the barrels in the top right corner of the arena. The sphere trundles its way towards a pit there in the top left of your picture. Then the multi-ball release. More points scored there. Against the barrels in the other corner of the arena. But only 60 points scored for Mortis. Big disappointment for them, down towards the bottom. Razor, though, with 210 points. Worthy champions. A brilliant run from a splendidly entertaining team. Simon Scott on the right, Vincent Blood in the middle, Ian Lewis on the left-hand side. And Razor, the Pinball Warrior Challenge champions, deservedly so.
Now let's charge back into the wars.
Lining up in round 2 of Heat P, Ratus against Dreadnought, Victor 2 against Trident, and don't forget they're playing to fill the last place in our semi-final lineup. Ratus, Gary Pike there on the left-hand side, and Dreadnought, David Bowles will take the controls. Ratus, splendid design. Dreadnought looks awesome, doesn't it?
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1. Activate.
Ratus is the heavier. I think Dreadnought probably is the speedier. And you wonder what damage Ratus took in its last battle against Smidsy, when the shell, don't forget, was lifted up and almost off the main chassis of Ratus, which obviously has a problem here right from the start. They say it came from the 14th century. Well, the engines have probably ground to a halt long ago since then. And Dreadnought here, very much in the ascendancy early on. There's no life in Ratus at all. Well, it's Dreadnought that will be going through, I would think, on the evidence of what we've seen early on here, to the splendid times, and hardly Boomtown Rats. Ratus edging away from the pits, into trouble, because now you see the house robots can come in. They're allowed to come in for the kill if a robot's been immobilised, and let's be honest, it has. Hard cheese for the Rat. And Dreadnought's really won here by more than a whisker. What we'll see here at the tail of this heat is no future for Ratus, despite the whirling tail there, the flail at the back, and the forward-facing spikes doing no damage whatsoever. Matilda shunts it around into the CPZ. Oh, lovely, says Bash, with the pincers to create a little bit of damage. I think really that the damage was sustained in its first round victory here, Ratus. You can see where it's been patched up for this second round clash. All Dreadnought needs to do is stay away from trouble, unlike Ratus, which has now been sliced apart. Well, it really is caught in the rat trap there, isn't it? It's Matilda's chainsaw, bumping and barging. Gary and Richard in the Ratus cherry picker. In comes Dev Metal now. A little bit of a slice. Oh, yes, thank you very much, sir. The smoke from the impact. Oh, yes, sir, thank you. And again. Yep. Not 3 cheers for Ratus, 3 tears for Ratus from the third attack from Dev Metal. Oh, really slicing into the innards of the rat. What a horrible thought. Dreadnought bouncing away. Don't get into trouble now, whatever you do, David. Stay away from Shunt & Co. Another scar of battle for Rattus Rattus to remember the house robots by. Dreadnought wisely getting away from trouble. And Dreadnought make the heat final.
It's back to sewers for Rattus Rattus as Dreadnought fights on.
Where do you think you're going? You can't
Trying to
just
hide.
sneak off
You've got
like
to
a little
escape.
rat down a sewer.
Well,
This is a big rat and it's not going down any sewer,
It's a
but
very
it nearly went
dead
in
rat.
the pit.
It's a very big, very dead rat, unfortunately.
What happened? Why did you stop?
Well, it worked
We didn't
perfectly
start.
in tests,
You
and then
didn't-
it just died.
You didn't start. You did a
No.
little bit, didn't you?
It moved, it went tweak, and then just shut
Just
down.
went
Yeah.
dead.
That was
And then
it.
that was that.
That was it. So we haven't had a chance to find out what's wrong
It
yet.
suffered,
So annoying.
suffered from its own plague, I think.
Yes, the bubonic plague got to it.
Us out, Dreadnought through to meet the winners of Victor 2 and Trident.
Well, Victor 2 team, you've been pitted against Trident, who, what are they? Still polishing their
They're
robot?
still polishing their robot, yeah.
And yet you're just about to go in there. How do you feel about them as opponents?
Well, we're a bit worried about damaging their lovely shiny bodywork, and we did say we'd put feather dusters on the end, but we decided against it.
Okay. All right, so confidence then.
Yes.
Confidence reigns supreme in the Victor team. Good luck. Here we go.
We're discussing driving straight into the pit to get it over with.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
how you're feeling?
Yeah.
They're really confident.
I know.
You're not.
No, we
But
weren't ready for it.
Still Trident against the Victor 2 team. Once again, Guy Pickett at the controls.
Roboteers, stand by. 3.
There he is. Kenneth Goddard on the right-hand side. Once met Michael Schumacher, so you can expect Victor 2 to be speedy with the flail. The shiny Trident team, they say their weapon's been damaged. Well, it's being used, but it was well, no more than a tap, really. A little bit like a woodpecker trying to tap its way into a tank and not causing too much trouble at all to Victor 2. Now, we know the Victor 2 flail weapon is limited also. Spins in a blur, but doesn't really cause too much destruction. We've seen better weapons of that type, and, well, at the moment, the weapon has just stopped on the front hacking blade of Trident, the great pickaxe coming down. Victor 2 are trying to get the controls working again, I should think, on that weaponry. They need to, and it sparks into life again. One of these weapons powered by car starter motors, motorbike starter motors, and they've got it working again. Victor 2 towards the pit, spinning, whirling like a whirling dervish, but demonically into the pit. And it's Stephen Benn at the controls of Trident who goes through, and Victor 2 teetering and toppling, and in the end toppled into the pit. Oh, Guy, pick it out of that pit. It rests in pieces. Victor 2.
Well, Victor was not victorious. Trident goes through to the next round. Let's hear it for Trident. Well, how do you think that went? You obviously won.
Yeah,
we won. Lovely.
And the axe works well.
The axe it's pretty strong, isn't it?
It is. It's very strong.
It's a strange robot design, really. Why have you got, say, one wheel on the front instead of, like, 6 wheels on the back?
Actually, the 3-wheel thing's the front.
Ah, that's the front.
You're looking at the front.
And the one wheel's the back.
Yeah, everybody makes that mistake.
That's why they always attack us from back.
Yeah.
Do you think you can go any further? The axe looks strong enough.
We'd like to have a go, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we give it a round of applause for Trident? That's Trident through to the next round.
We went in the pit.
3, 2, 1.
Two good teams, quietly understated. Dreadnought nervously away, perhaps. Trident on the attack with the axe weapon they say is so powerful. Not too sure about that. Dreadnought has the splendid body shell, newly designed after the damage from the last series. David and Faye Vols are Robot Wars veterans. Again, Trident on the attack. The forklift at the front of Dreadnought has a new mechanism in this series as well. Really good robot, they say Trident is. with those curious wheels on the front. Again now, this time the pickaxe has caused a couple of dents there. Stephen Benn at the controls, loves his computer graphics, he plays the guitar as well, and he's certainly in tune here at the moment. A couple of dents there. Are there any more than that, I wonder, on the body shell of Dreadnought, which is slightly the lighter, but the slower of these two robots? And the weaponry of Trident could be important here, because they've been the more adventurous, certainly. Friction smoke on the side of the arena, thrown into the air. Dreadnought's pinned in there. At the back, the pickaxe of Trident holding it in position. So, perhaps immobilised on the arena circular blades, allowing dead metal to come in with a thrust. I'm hearing from the judges' cherry picker that Dreadnought has been immobilised. That's why the signal's gone out to the house robots. They could come in and attack Dreadnought. And I think they're just exacting revenge now on Trident. House robots come from dark and dingy places. They do not like sleek and gleaming shiny machines, Stephen Benn. And this is why they want to rip and shred and tear. Get your polish out, boys. You will need it to repair your tattered machine. You see, we admire all your work. We really do. Splendid effort, lovely design, beautiful machinery. And then we like to mash it and break it and bend it and tear it and tatter it and destroy it. Ooh, lovely. And Matilda now coming in with her chainsaw as well. We're enjoying it. This is a party for us, you see, on Robot Wars. Trident the winners, we don't care. Take some of that. Poor old Dreadnought, long ago dead.
Dreadnought gets naught. It was obviously disabled long before Trident. The house robot's a bit naughty there for going in on Trident, but Trident goes through to the series semi-finals. A close run thing.
Just a bit.
I thought you weren't going to get out alive.
It's a strong robot.
How do you think you're going to fare now in the series semi-finals?
Pretty badly.
There's nothing like unadulterated confidence. Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Well, the neighbours are banging on the studio doors because we won't keep the noise down on Robot Wars. Bye-bye.
After 16 heats, 128 robots, we're down to 16. We're back next week with our first semi-final of 8. And what a lineup we have for you as well. First of all, Firestorm, Zippy and Nippy. There's Pitbull, a roly-poly growler. Big Brother, ominous, omnipresent. Thing and the Addams Family team. They're back, the reigning champions, Panic Attack. Sure to cause chaos too, with its big flipper. Mace 2, very persistent. And of course, if they can get things straight, robot number 8, today's winner Trident, through to the first semi-final.
Now that you've got decent air conditioning,
it shouldn't overheat.
some nice aerodynamic moulding, you should be even faster.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Before, yeah?
That's why we let them do it.
Good. I mean, I'm used to letting them do it, of course.
Of course.
Okay.